Warning. It is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Stong Stem Steve Cabot, and our guest back again is Tom Lavelle for the Tom Lavelle Part 2 experience. Stong Stem, how we living, my man?
Hey, I'm excited. I got a call today about asking to be on this thing, filling in for, we needed a more handsome team, so we got to get rid of the uglies, if you understand.
I would agree.
And I understood the assignment, and I love it, brother, and you guys. So I'm in.
Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. Tom, back again. Part 2. We couldn't get it done in part 1. How you feeling?
Feel good. Glad to be back for part 2 of the
Sick
show.
background.
And like we said, I'm glad that Steve is here to
Bring up the handsome.
yeah, our level of good looking just went through the roof, basically.
Yeah.
Take that, J-Dub. I love you.
Oh yeah, if you like that background, you can find me at the Tom Lavelle Show on YouTube, TikTok, and all podcast platforms. If you want to hear this, go give me a listen, a like, and maybe a follow if you want.
Beautiful.
Well, in case you were wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's all objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right, so we're going to get
Wait, hold
ready.
on a second right there. 1 second, Matt. I got to stop you real quick. Steve, I need to ask you a question. Is this a violation? Okay.
Let's go.
A couple weeks ago, I go to the store and I'm in line and I look and I'm in checkout and I'm like, oh my gosh, who is that in front of me but my wonderful sister-in-law and my niece, right? Matt's
Awesome.
wife and kid. And I go, oh my gosh, what the heck? What are you doing here? What are the odds of this that I see you in here? So we're getting checked out and we go to leave and I say, let me help you carry your bags to the car. Where's Matt? Oh, he's in the car. So where's your car? I said, it's over there. And I said, over where? And I look over and I'm like, I think I see Matt's car, but that can't be Matt's car. Is that Matt's car? And why was I asking that question, Steve? Where was Matt parked, Steve? In the handicap spot. Is this a violation? Is this a violation, Steve? Now, I will tell you this. It was raining. The parking lot was pretty full. Okay. What do you think?
So this is a 2-part question for me. It's a violation on 2 levels. It's a double violation.
Double violation.
Violation number 1, never park in a handicap. I don't give a fuck who you are, especially you two having, your dad probably has a real placard. Like, get the fuck out of the way, right? And number 2, which is a larger violation in my fucking opinion, is it was raining. I would drive that bitch right up under the awning for my wife and kid if I needed to. Not make them walk to the handicap spot. I would have pulled that bitch up and ran some poor fuck over to make sure my wife and my beautiful daughter got into the car without a drip of rain hitting their beautiful heads. But yes, Tom, that's a double violation.
Double violation. All right, one more question for you. He's not here to defend himself. We'll go on to part 2. One J-Dub Richardson came to visit me at the bar that I work at the other day.
Yes, sir.
He got a sandwich, and we do specials during the week. It's a $5 sandwich. It's a great deal. It's like a shorty cheesesteak, right? And he got a soda. I didn't charge him for the soda. Soda's on the house. It'd be $2.50. Whatever. It's my boy. Here's a soda. If he would have gotten a beer, I would have gotten him a beer. The bill was $5. What's a fair tip to leave? He hung out for about half hour, 40 minutes.
For $5, and I know the bartender.
Yes.
Personally.
Yeah, you'd be on a show with him regularly.
You can't walk out of there without, I mean, this even sounds cheap, but you can't walk out of there without leaving a 10.
A 10. Divide that by 10. Gave me $1 tip. I was like, keep the fucking dollar, bro.
Now, I would be more upset if I didn't hear his story about how he knew how to get a slice of cheese and a piece of bread from Wawa back in the day and could create the sandwich for 6 cents less than what. No, he is.
Is this a J-Dub thing? Is he one of the people that, hey man, I saved that dollar. I'm leaving $1. Like, is this a regular
in a way? Maybe he thought of it like this.
Wasn't an accident.
To be fair, Tom, he left you 20%. He did leave you. I'm not agreeing with it. I would have left a 10, if not a 20, right? Because it's your boy. You hook up your boy, right?
And I didn't charge him for the soda.
Right.
For example, one of my boys, right? You guys know him. He was on the show. But one of my boys is also a bartender. I'm not going to name him because I don't want to put him out there like that. But whenever I go into his establishment, right, I get all types of beers. I get food, blah, blah, blah. He brings me up like a fucking $13 tab. And I'm sure I probably spent $40, $50 in that joint. Yeah. So I leave him at least $40. You at least got to fucking pay for what you would have already.
What you would have had.
So the rest of it's all for you then, Holmes. Like if I would have had a $50 tab and you gave me a $15 bill, I'm giving you the $50 because the rest goes to you for doing that for me and sticking your neck out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And
that's just how it goes. I never worked in the industry either, ever.
He's also saving you money, right?
100%.
Because had he charged you the 50, then you have to put a tip on. Exactly. Yes. But now he's saving you that money by just being like, here you go. Pete would do that. Bach was guilty of not doing the not tip a couple times.
That's it.
Oh wow.
He did it, but I like told him. He just didn't know. He just kind of didn't get it. Right. We were young. Once I told him, he was fucking the tipping king. You couldn't.
But I will say this, in all honesty, sometimes it backfires on you, right? Like again, I've never been in the industry, but I've been on the opposite side of this question a lot, right? So I'll go down to a certain establishment where I know all the ladies there. They're all my friends. I hang out with them outside of their job, blah, blah, blah. And these girls, like, I'll be having a good time one night and, I got a bunch of beers and some other stuff. I'm not opposed to paying. I'll pay for whatever I need. And then I get the bill. I almost think they stuck shit on there I never seen before. Cause I'm like, I don't remember that. But at that point, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And I pay them anyway. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you do know, I'm just not the, never mind. Maybe I get spoiled by my nice friends who usually take care.
Yeah.
And being that I am a bartender, I get caught up because I want to give them I'll cover what it is that I think I had, if they're not putting everything on there. Right. And a big tip on top of it.
Right.
Correct.
Like I'd rather just pay for everything because I know how it is.
Agreed.
I don't want you giving me free shit because no, don't do that. I'll pay for everything and don't worry, I'll take care of you. You know what I mean?
I get it.
But if you are tip big, tip big.
If you are willing to stick your neck out there, I will reward because remember the fortunes goes to those who take chances. So I'll throw it out there for you.
Yeah, I'm covering it. Like, and it's up to you then. You know what I mean? I'm going to cover what I should owe, and it's up to you. If you want to put it in the register, you go ahead. If you want to take it home, you go ahead.
Fortunes go to those who take chances, unless the opposite side's J-Dub.
He took a chance leaving me $1, and I brought it up on the show.
You should have fucking told the bouncer he didn't pay.
Wow.
Get that man. Shoplifter.
Fuck you, J-Dub.
So Matt's handicap and J-Dub ain't tipping.
First off,
so we got 3 violations.
3.
Jesus Christ.
This is how it went at the grocery store. One,
here we go.
It was Trader Joe's. So I don't know if you know, TJ's gets pretty packed, right? and it's a small parking lot. So this is what we did. I dropped them off under the awning. They're supposed to call me when they're done, and I come pick them up, right? They didn't do that because they were with, stupid big jerk here, right?
And you're watching porn, so you're distracted.
Right. I'm just messing around on the phone doing
Doesn't mean
nothing.
you have to go sit in a handicap spot. You could park
Agreed.
anywhere.
Legit
Park anywhere.
nowhere. Dude, I sat in like the lane. She also, to know this, she said in and out, 10 minutes tops.
You know better. Stop it.
Yeah, dude.
You know better.
I sat in the lane.
No.
Sat in the lane for like an hour.
Not an excuse. You know better.
Shame.
Shame.
All right. But either way, let's keep it moving. So speaking of J-Dub, I want to start off because he's not here. I want to get J-Dub's questions out of the way.
Ooh,
all right. So, Tom, first question, right? 3 people from any time, any place, alive or dead, that you could have a beer with. Who are they?
3 people, alive or dead, that I could have a beer with. I mean, this one's gonna take some thought.
I know, right?
That I could have a beer with. I think Babe Ruth. He might be a cool one. To have
Great
have a
Oh,
beer with.
that's
Great
a
one.
great one.
No one has better stories than that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth. I'm gonna go with him. Who else? If I could pick 3. I mean, this one might be a little bit weird, I guess, but we never met our grandfather, so I would have liked to have a beer with our grandfather. Never met him, my dad's dad.
Yep.
And then, oh man, this is tough. Now you're narrowing it down. I guess I
Joe
gotta
Biden.
go. I guess, yeah. Poison his ass. But I guess I gotta go Jesus. Jesus,
Bringing the carpenter out?
Yeah,
You're bringing the carpenter out?
Jesus, Babe Ruth, Grandpa.
Isn't Babe Ruth and Jesus the same thing?
Ho!
Ew.
I was leaning Bret Hart, but that's still a possibility. You know what I mean? So I'm holding on for hope.
That's
I
a
love
good one.
Bret Hart.
I don't like
True.
your wrestling vibe, but I love Bret Hart. So
What about you, Strong Stem? Do you got 3 people you'd have a beer with?
Quickly, because I don't want to run time. Mine are up because I'm a fucking lunatic. But Julius Caesar,
Good one.
Napoleon, and George Washington. 3 of the best military minds that have ever lived.
Wow. Great stuff. Great
I
stuff.
like all
Just
of
in honor of the Lavelles, because I love your pops. I'll go straight 3 military men.
them.
I like
Military.
it. Nice, man. Nice. All right, cool. And then next question is
How dare I? Stop. I'm eliminating 1, and I'm pulling in
Napoleon's
broad that-
gone. Napoleon's
yeah,
gone.
Yeah, the short fuck's gone.
He's gone.
And I need Cleopatra in there, the one who
Oh,
stole Mark
shit.
Antony stole it from Caesar. So I'll take that.
Damn,
Let's
that's a
throw
good call.
Cleopatra
Yeah.
in there. The baddest bit ever.
Why am I even having drinks with dudes? I gotta go all chicks.
I know. Got
What
no
the
J-Lo
fuck
in
am
there.
I
George
thinking?
Washington's out.
Yeah,
J-Lo's
fuck you,
in.
Washington.
George Washington's
J-Lo.
out.
Yes. Marilyn Monroe was pretty hot bitch back
Hell,
in the day. Maybe I'll
yeah.
give her
Hell
a swing.
yeah.
I don't know. Jesus Christ. Oh, well, what's her name? Gravy Tits.
Apollonia.
Oh God.
Oh man, that is good. I thought for me, John Wayne is one
Hell yeah.
of them.
That's a
Love
good
the
one.
Duke, right? The second one I wanted to talk to was Robert E. Lee.
Hell yeah. Well, he was on the losing side, so I hear you. But it's a
But
cool
still,
perspective.
I'll say,
Racist.
Great general.
well,
Great
no.
general.
Did you know that they had offered him? They
The
offered him.
presidency.
Well, no, they initially when they started the Union, right? And
You mean the Confederacy? Oh, wait,
no,
the
no,
Union in
the
beginning, okay.
Confederacy and the Union, right? Like they offered him to be the general of the Union Army, Robert E. Lee, and he said he could never turn on the great states of Virginia. So yeah,
Well, how'd that work out for you, dickhead?
dude, I'll tell you, man. Honestly,
The dude
I don't know. I don't want to.
The dude wore a skirt to get away. He's a fucking puss.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to go too deep into the Civil War. I'm a big Civil
Me
War
neither.
guy, but honestly,
But he did
I'll-
wear a skirt to get away.
dude, one of the
Dressed like a
best.
broad.
One of the best quotes
Did he really?
one of the best quotes I ever heard right? There's this Civil War historian. His name's Dr. Shelby Foote. He's really, really, really good. But he said that he believed, like, when looking at the war, the North fought the war with one arm behind their back, right? Like they never really they never really pulled out all the stops. And it's just because like the size of their population, like the city of New York's population was bigger than the entire Confederate States combined, right? They had more like munitions and supplies and everything like that. The fact that the South did as well as they did, right? And they were, dude, I'll tell you, they
pushed all the way up to PA.
Dude, they turned the corner at Gettysburg, and they march on Washington. I mean, it's a different story. Right.
Well,
they were
industrialism is
close.
what fixed that. Industrialism is what fixed that. We had a machine to make product and get it to the front lines quick. They did not.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're exactly right. We had more stuff. You know what I mean? I say we because we're all Northerners. But
more giant dicks, you fucking little dick Southerners.
But when he did say, like, you know, to think about it, and plus too, honestly, if you look at how Ulysses S. Grant beat Robert E. Lee, it was just out of supplies. Really, he Ulysses S. Grant literally just threw men at him until he just couldn't stop it. It was just like a flood of men that eventually he couldn't stop, and he did stop it for a long time. But
Pretty sure J-Dub's going to the South had the same thing, just men thrown at him until it's nonstop.
Loves men thrown at him.
Nice. All right, so enough Civil War talk. Next question. Are we ready?
Yep.
First one was a good one.
Yeah,
it was.
So next question. Which would be harder for you to give up? Coffee or alcohol?
So easy for me. I don't drink coffee.
Well, must be nice.
I don't know. I'm not really drinking either right now. So
look at you.
I guess I would say coffee's pretty tough. Now, are we just talking caffeine product? Are we talking caffeine products or strictly coffee?
Coffee. Keep it simple. Just coffee.
I guess alcohol. I guess because there's parties all the time. You know what I mean? Coffee's tough. Though. Coffee is tough.
I'm afraid I'd die if I drank coffee. I'm already fucking hyper as shit.
Might have the opposite effect.
Yeah, right. I'll go to sleep.
Yeah. What do you got, Matt? Coffee or alcohol?
I would say I would say coffee. I just I don't know. I don't really, honestly. I used to drink more, but I just haven't been drinking. So, and it's not because like if I want to drink, right, I'll fucking drink whatever, right? I don't care. But
you sure your father-in-law allows this? You allowed?
Dude,
when's the last time you had a drink, Matt?
Honestly, I think it was Bach's wedding.
I was gonna say you never really drink. I never see you drink at all.
I used to fucking. That's Tom, right? Like I would be fucking the guy drinking the most, but dude, it's just I'm so tired.
When you get older, it hits different. It hits different. I'm still recovering from a wedding over the weekend. You fucking kidding me? I drank one time on Saturday. I haven't had a lick of alcohol till now, and I still feel like shit.
Yeah. So, all right, you ready for the next question?
Oh, here we go.
He's cheesing on this one.
This one's pretty fucking good.
He likes it.
Are you ready? Okay.
Clears his throat.
Would you rather shit every time you orgasm or have a 5% chance that you will say the N-word in every conversation that you have? So
no, that's fine. I'll start with mine. I'll take the N-word thing because I can avoid my situations on purpose to not let people hear me say that.
Yeah.
Whereas the shitting thing, I like to fuck. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I like to fuck a lot.
Not gonna lie though, dropping some heat and busting a nut at the same time, probably not
awesome.
terrible. Probably not terrible.
Awesome.
Probably not.
Awesome.
Yeah. Probably
the mess, though. The mess.
Oh, dude! Imagine if you're like in the middle of bed,
that's
just
not awesome.
Yeah. Like I say, it's like marrying a squirter. The double-edged sword.
Man, how bad?
You think it's awesome at first, and the next thing you know.
You're doing
sheets every night.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude.
like, all right, this was cool the first time, but what the
Think,
fuck?
like,
I'm
and you have
tired
a-
of shit right now. I
You
gotta
have
go
a
to sleep.
5% chance that you will say the N word in every conversation that you have.
Can you just let it be known? Hey, this might slip out. I got a.
Hey, I'm racist. Let me know.
Basically,
Dude,
Tourette's.
what if
right?
you've had like every 5% chance? That's what, once every 20 conversations, right?
You're
So
shitting as you come.
I'm just saying,
like you're doing it simultaneously, so it's
Yeah.
not like you like go and
Yeah.
then you can.
no, it's not like
Man.
was you.
You know, so we all obviously wrestled and had to lose some weight at some point in our life. It sounds like a fantastic diet because I'm cardioing by fucking, I'm dropping loads, and I'm losing weight because I'm shitting myself all at the same time. I don't know. I'll probably shredded if I did that.
Yeah, you probably would be shredded. You got to get some girl that's into some poop shit, I guess. You know,
And I don't like
know.
that girl, so I don't know how that's
Yeah.
gonna go because I don't want to be with that girl that likes dudes.
I guess I just have to move and move to a racist fucking area and just live my life.
Yeah, just join the skinhead. So every guy,
Yeah.
they're like, "You gonna say
Yeah,
it
here
again?" You're like, "I
am,
don't know.
you
I don't know."
whatever. You know? Is it cool if I say this? It might pop out here every 5% chance that I'm not shitting myself every time I fuck now, you know?
Nah, it's too much work.
All right, you ready for the next one? Last one.
Yeah.
Or, well, maybe we'll do two. Okay, here's the question. Would you rather receive $5 million right now or have to wait 10 years, but in 10 years you receive $45 million?
Fuck out of here. Give me the 5 mil right now. I could die between then.
Good die. Plus, who knows what 5 million is going to be worth in 10 years, you know?
Exactly. And what can I do with 5 that I can do with 40? Like, I'm not buying an island. I'm not Bezos. Like, I'll be all
All right, you want another
Hoping
question?
I can turn that 5 into 40, you know?
right. If
All
not,
right.
I had a great time losing it. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'll
Would
take
you
the 5 right now.
Would you rather automatically say "ahoy, matey" whenever you get an erection, right? It automatically comes out,
That's kind of
or
dope.
automatically say "shiver me timbers" whenever you bust a nut?
Thomas.
I guess I'll go ahoy, matey.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That shit's hard, yo. I'm gonna say that next time I get a boner around a chick.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
kinda
be
like
ahoy,
that.
matey. Yeah,
Ahoy,
I'm using
matey.
it for real.
Ahoy,
Yeah.
matey.
Welcome to my first mate
Yeah.
bit.
Want to go
Yeah.
below deck? Mm.
Well,
Wanna
yeah.
Swap the deck bit.
Want to walk the plank, bitch?
All right, last one. Would you rather
Want to shiver me timbers?
have would you rather have a random superpower or $50 million?
Well, what's a random, like it's
can
picked
pick.
for you?
Yeah, but it's one of, like, let's say like there's 10, right? One's like flying, another one's telekinesis, another one's super speed,
Invisible.
you know, yeah. The
You got the
basics.
fucking-
yeah,
yeah, okay.
like the basics. You
I'll
get a
take the,
list of them.
I'll take the
random
superpower.
or 50 mil.
I'll take the superpower.
Okay, but what if you get a superpower you're not crazy about?
I know. I'll take the 50
You said
mil.
there
I'll
was
figure it out
10. You
later.
said there was 10. That the 3 you just named were pretty awesome.
Yeah, but you could also get one that's like
Tell me
Shitting
tell
yourself
me a
every
bad
time you
one.
come.
Yeah. What's
all
the
right.
bad superpower?
I don't
Yeah.
know. It doesn't give you a list.
X-ray vision, because there's a lot of people that you don't need that for in this world. Sounds awesome at first, and then you go to the mall, and it only works out for 1 of 100 people. The other 99, you're like, oh my fucking god, can I turn this off?
Yeah, good point.
All right. If you could flip a coin, right, where you flip a coin, if it hits heads, means you get $10 billion instantly, or tails, you die instantly. Are you flipping the coin?
Right now, do it.
I'd fucking do it. Bam.
Right now.
away.
Right
I'd
now.
fucking boom.
You'd flip the coin.
I'd flip the
Well, you're an
fucking coin.
asshole because you have a fucking beautiful little daughter. So you gotta
I'd
do
hit.
this work.
I'd fucking
Me?
hit. I'd fucking hit.
He's confident.
I'd fucking hit. Yeah.
Hell yeah. What are you doing, Thomas?
Nah.
Hell yeah. See,
Keep
that's
the
a good
coin.
father down there. You're a piece of shit, Matt. You don't pull up under the awning.
Yeah.
You don't,
park in
here. You don't
Handy
risk
here.
your life. Those are good.
All right. Are we done? All right. No more questions. That was the J-Dub random question segment. I wanted
Good
to
job,
get
J-Dub.
Yeah. Thanks,
Even though you're
J-Dub.
not here. Even though you're
Yeah.
not here,
For
good
the-
job, buddy.
Thanks for the tip, J-Dub.
Yeah.
Just a tip.
Justin tip.
tip.
Justin tip.
Nice. Okay. So let's keep it moving. So I want to start off again, Tom. Like we did last week, we talked about the Tom Lavelle show, which is available now on YouTube, TikTok, and all podcast platforms. Highly suggest checking it out. You released another episode the other day. It was really good. Can you give us another little taste of what we're expecting on the Tom Lavelle show?
Hold on. Before you jump into this, can I ask you a question, Matt?
Yeah.
Is it a violation that I'm a good friend of your brother? I love your brother. He's a great person. He ain't never sent me nothing about this fucking show. I never seen shit.
Bro.
He has my number. He's
Bro.
never sent me a single fucking episode, a clue, and I had no idea. Is that a violation?
I don't send anybody anything.
He doesn't, dude. Like,
never had a
Fair
guest. Never.
Fair enough.
I don't know if he wants. I mean, dude, I didn't know about it until he was like
I'll
10
like and
episodes.
subscribe.
Matt's like,
motherfucker.
what? You got 10 episodes? I was like, yeah.
I'll like and subscribe. Damn it. Send me some shit.
I mean,
YouTube, Tom Lavelle show.
Yeah,
You'll
you,
see
gotta,
him.
you gotta get the word out there. You know,
Well,
we
here we are.
I mean, God, I hate that we have to talk about it this much, but we do. But either way, I mean, talk about our show. We talk about it. I mean, seems like we're always talking about it, right?
I think I came up with a good idea for advertising for Working Perspectives and or the Tom Lavelle show.
Sean Day came up with something that I'm actually going to try, but you tell us first, Tom.
Pint glasses. Get a bunch of pint glasses and put Working Perspectives thing on, and then put a QR code on there to scan to show you an episode.
Dude, that's a great idea.
And then
That
you
is
go
a
to
good
all
idea.
the local bars and you just get, hey, here's free pint glasses. Just
Yeah.
use them, corner
You guys
bars.
go. I'm sure you guys go through them like a champ, right? Pint glasses and shit. They break. People fucking steal them. Who knows?
That's a good fucking.
That's not.
Yeah,
That's a
well,
good idea.
That's what I'm gonna
We
do.
could do coasters.
Now you owe him
too.
25% of all.
Coasters.
We could do coasters and fucking coasters and pint glass.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if
Listen,
people like pay attention to coasters as much.
Mm-mm.
If
Listen, you know what I pay attention to? Hot chicks with big tits. How about I get one of them, one of my friends, and we'll paint something on them and run them around City Hall or something? I don't fucking know. That'll work, right?
Just
you
have
know-
them come on the show and from here down.
It's great, dude. I've reached out to like a bunch of people to be on the show because I was talking to a buddy of mine who's kind of like the show's business manager, if you will. But he told me like one of the techniques that he's researched that is the best for building your audience is to, and like clout chasing in a way, like if you were to reach out to Rogan or Shab or like someone like that, that's way too up, right? But if I was to reach out to someone that had like 100,000 followers, right? And say like, hey, got a show, I'd love to have like whatever, like there's like a real estate lady that I reached out to that does like, she does real estate and everything, but she does it as an influencer through the app, like Instagram. Really smart the way she does it. Seems to be very successful. Reached out to her, would love to hear her story. I would love to get an influencer on the show, period. Also, like I've seen like, like there's the bodybuilder people, like whatever, physical fitness people, like all of those type of influencers on the show to get to talk to them. And even if they say no, even if they like just say like, oh, was asked to be on the show and post that, like that just helps. You know what I mean? Like it just reaches a bigger audience and helps expand our demographic. So I've been trying to do that. But then also someone, Sean Day, has the best idea for sponsors. He calls me
shooting terrorists.
We've been doing a thing the last couple of weeks where he calls me on the weekend on the way home from the bar.
He also calls me and leaves wild voicemails.
Yeah,
at
dude.
4 a.m. out here.
Yeah. He's the dude. I fucking love Sean. He is.
That's why
the
he's
best.
my guy.
He's the fucking man. But he calls me and like, dude, we talked for like we'll talk for like half hour at like.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, it's like 3:30, 4 a.m. I'm getting up to go do the thing, and I fucking hit up Jocko, and he's calling me, and he's like, bro, I got the best idea. This is what we need to do. This is who we need to reach out to. These guys are going to be our sponsors. Mad Dog 2020 and Magnum Condoms. I was like, Mad Dog, honestly, I was like, that's fucking genius. I want Mad Dog. Mogan David, shout out. So either way, I interrupted you, Tom. Can you give us a little snippet of what to expect from the Tom Lavelle show?
Just, stories about where I work and different topics that I like to talk about. I try to keep it light and funny. The episodes are about half an hour long, maybe a little less than half hour long. Beginning, I cover some music that's been interesting me early, and then I go into what's kind of the topics of the week, and I talk about current events, different stories that have happened in my life, different questions, i.e., for example, what we talked about today when I was asking Matt about where he was parked and whether or not that's a violation or J-Dub tipping or whatever. I kind of cover it all in the 25-minute show. I'm also working on a different idea that might be available later. So if you tune in to the Tom Lavelle show, there's something else that I'm also thinking about starting that I think could be very interesting for people. But
I mean,
yeah.
by the time this airs, will it have been out already?
I don't know. What's difficult is, and if anyone is listening to this, I'd like to be able to set up something with a little more professional look for people to come to and film.
Like have a studio.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a studio. Obviously, it can just be like a room, but
Yeah.
the camera stuff is where it's confusing me, because I just want to be able to hook it up to the computer, have it all go into one thing and and edit it. You know what I mean? Because it has to be as simple as possible for me to be able to do it.
Yeah, no, that's honestly, I would love to have almost like a studio. The way we do things now, I mean, to be fair, I've had a couple people say like, "Do we shoot in studio?" And I'm like, "You really think we have a fucking studio?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear that. I have found out like production value does mean a lot in the game, right? As far as like views. Like, as people first glance, if they see shitty production value, they're out right away.
Yeah.
And they see an asshole like me with no background. Is that what you mean?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say more the quality of camera is what it is, right? Like when I try, everyone here at least has a 1080p. You know what I mean? Like everyone that's on camera for us, especially even on the Poppin', we all have at least a 1080p. But eventually we'll all have 4Ks. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that, you just got to evolve with it. But what you're saying, Tom, I agree with, where it's like, it would be nice just to have like a sweet fucking camera that looks crystal clear, that we can export in 4K and do all that stuff. But that's down the line as you grow and as you progress, like that stuff's all available. But it's
now I'm just trying to get the content out. So if you like just the content, I think you'll find the Tom Lavelle show funny. You can get short little clips on the TikTok and then kind of go see if you want to listen to the full
YouTube
episode.
Shorts too?
I was doing them, but I just put up the full episode.
Marlboro short.
Nah, but yeah, I just put up the full episodes on the YouTube, on the tuber.
Awesome. I would do. You should. What do you think? Not telling you. YouTube Shorts
violation
is a big plus. There any kind of like the platform you're using with TikTok, where it's like the shortened videos, right? Like you could use that, goes across all platforms now. Like even Facebook has Facebook Reels, right? Like, and Instagram. Dude, and if you're like, Facebook Reels started out with 30 seconds and instantly bumped it up to a minute, right?
Sounds like a copycat league.
Well,
like anything else.
Facebook owns Instagram. So
that's right.
So they're just progressing, because that's just the format, right? Like, so they just notice like, this is what gets used, this is what gets clicks, this is what keeps people's eyes on. And like, because Facebook's on the ground floor, they're looking for content to expand their Reels data, right? So you want to jump on that like quick, fast, and in a hurry. I post on that every day. You have to, it's just, it is what it is.
And can I say this? I hate the fucking algorithm, right? Because I was with my niece. I was with my youngest niece. This is a while ago. I was out with my brother, my nieces, blah, blah, blah. And the youngest niece didn't have her phone. She was bitching. So I gave her mine. And she was watching, what's the little Italian bro that does the dances? With the dude name. Oh my God.
I don't know. Delaney?
Charlie DeMayo. Charlie, whatever,
okay.
right? So she watches a couple of her fucking dance videos. Now my phone, I look like a fucking creep. Every time I go onto like a Reels and Instagram, it's 900 Charlie things. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? And why is it all over my shit? And then I realized that my niece was watching 1,000 of them when we were at dinner the one night. And now it's like, it's downloaded into my phone or whatever they fucking do with these algorithms. I'm looking for dirt bike videos like an asshole. And instead I got this 14-year-old Italian bitch dancing on the camera. I'm like,
Uh,
where's her dad? Get this broad. Where's her dad?
Dude, that's the other thing that's creepy is like you don't know the age of some of these bitches on
You just
Instagram.
bitch
Like,
off my phone.
if
bro.
I
don't care
quit,
how you
like
dance.
I get so nervous seeing that. I'm like, get that the fuck off my
Right?
phone. I don't want it
Fuck
anywhere
that.
near me. I don't want any fucking thing to do with that.
Yep.
You know, because it's scary. Because all it takes is like one thing. You're like, I have fucking no idea. You know, and it's bullshit. But it is what it is. I try to keep everything. It has to be 18 or
Next
over.
thing you know, you're the weird dad at school, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm my daughter goes to an Albanian daycare. I'm probably already.
Hell,
dad.
yeah, you're the gringo. I don't know if that's what they call. What are they? What's their slur for white people? They gotta have some kind of cool thing.
They're
Matt.
white, so.
Well, what I mean is Americans. Dickhead American.
I mean, they
gotta have a slang term. They all do.
They just call us Americans. They don't have,
Assholes.
like, you know, they hate like. I mean, they would hate the Americans. They have like a respect for, you know, but they hate like gyp. If you're a gyp.
Well, I don't like that because my favorite boxer's a gypsy.
Tyson Fury.
he's the best personality.
I mean, he's the king of them. You know,
he's the king.
He is the king of them. So, all right, nice, Tom. Well, thanks for sharing that. And like we said, available TikTok and YouTube and on all podcast platforms. We have the Tom Lavelle Show. We'll have links in the description of this episode. Highly suggest you check it out. Really, really good stuff. Really funny. And, you know, eventually he'll probably have some guests, but who knows? Every show could be his last show. You never know.
The last one. You never know. Check it out now.
So nice. All right. So I want to keep it moving then. I want to pick up where we left off last week. So last week we stopped when you were leaving Vermont, right? You just got done working at the ski resort in Vermont. You come back to Philadelphia. You come back to PA. You live at Mom's for a little bit, and then you move down to Roxborough, right?
Right.
Okay. So you're living in Roxborough. What kind of jobs you doing there? What's going on? How's life? What do we got going on?
I came down and I had some money saved from working on the ski resort. And
Did
then
you
my
get
buddy-
paid good doing that?
What, on the ski resort?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No. I mean,
but there's
paid
nowhere
good
to spend it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
mean, we were
relative.
just basically like, we would make our paycheck and buy beer and weed with it and food, you know, and that was pretty
The
much
Vermont
it.
way.
So I had the paycheck, and then it came to me, you know, like I was leaving, and then so I had one like due because I think it paid every 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
And I came down, and so I had enough to like survive.
How
but
long
I
were
had to
you
find
in
a job
Vermont?
quick.
Like 2 months, 3 months?
Maybe 3 months,
All right.
maybe. And then like
And
almost
hold on,
like a
real quick.
season.
Not to interrupt, but what's enough to survive? Enough to survive in Vermont, or enough to survive in Philadelphia? Because
Well,
we know that,
remember-
like, obviously the scales are different. With,
Remember
like,
back
money.
then, rent for a month was like $333. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
like,
1,000 for the.
$1,000 for the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the
Yeah.
month plus utilities, so you're looking
Yeah.
at what, like 400 something, maybe
Yeah.
a month.
Okay.
So if
Not
you
bad.
got $2,000 and you're
Yeah.
eating fucking gummy bears and pretzels, you
Yep.
know, you could get by a little bit. You know,
Right.
just and plus someone orders pizza when they come over or whatever.
I probably didn't
Right.
have $2,000. I don't know
Yeah.
what I had, but you know,
Dude, I remember when I had like $3,000 saved up like the first time when you're like, you know, like 19, you're like,
and
holy
then you
fuck.
spend it all right away.
Oh, bro. And it's gone like instantly. You're like, oh my God, I had so much money. Where'd it go? There
uh-huh.
wasn't a lot at all. Like, remember the one time, Tom, we bought a camera and I was food running at the time and I saved all the ones I made from my tips.
Oh
Right?
my God, yeah.
I had saved all the ones, right? And I had like $700 in one, right? In a bag. We do a bunch of, like, it was a Monday and me and Bach do a bunch of car bombs. And then we go to Best Buy and Tom was hell bent on like, we got to get a camera. I want to start filming shit. Let's get a camera.
Fantastic way to go to make a purchase is to get bombed before it.
So
Fantastic.
we get
Pregame.
bombed. Tom goes in, does all the talking, and then walks up with the bag of ones at the register and just fucking paid.
Was the guy like, are you guys
paid all
gigolos?
ones.
You wagging your dick around? What's happening here? Why is it all ones? Cuz why all ones?
Yeah, what did he say?
I don't remember. We just went and got it.
Yeah. Dude,
I wouldn't have
legit,
sold you
was
it. I'd
like-
have been like, nah, fuck no. Go change that in for 20s or some shit.
I think
No
it was like
sale.
$300 or something, the camera.
No, it was more
350.
than that, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Nah,
I
whatever.
don't know. I mean, still.
Never learned how to use it. Never learned how to edit any of it. Never.
Terrible
any of
buy.
that. Oh, it was
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh,
Terrible,
I
man.
bought some cameras for. I spent a couple grand on cameras.
Yeah.
But, either way, so yeah, I moved back down here. I don't have a ton of money. My one buddy was working at a Wawa, and so I was like, "Yo, get me a job at the Wawa." The only job they had
The
available
Wawa
was
on Ridge by the high school.
by the high school.
By Roxford
Yeah, I
High
used to-
School.
It's not
I
this.
used to-
It was across the street from the Super Wawa. It was before.
Now
they
I'm
built
not
the
trying to
Super Wawa.
incriminate myself. Oh, okay. The old school one, but it was
Yeah,
right next to the
old
precinct,
one.
not the
Yeah.
one across
Yeah.
the street. I was gonna say
Yes.
I might have stolen $10,000 from the new one, but the old one I was nice to, allegedly nice to the old one.
Yeah.
I learned a couple valuable lessons at that old Wawa. Was working third shift. How much, Steve? Third shift from 11 to 7 in the morning. How much were they paying me per hour?
$6.25.
$7.50.
Oh,
$7.50 an
The
hour.
minimum.
And I had to like put away all the stuff in the freezer. I'm in that freezer freezing my
Yeah,
ass
you're
off.
like
fucking,
So
and then
hold
I
on,
had the
just to make
2
sure.
a.m. the 2 a.m. Sandwich make for all the
Right.
drunks coming out of the
Right.
bars and mania.
Right. But you actually have like people probably don't realize this. When you're the overnight guy, you're the guy that sets everything up. Like
Yes.
you actually have to put in work. That's bullshit. Yo.
It was
Oh.
work. I had to
Yeah,
get
hell
everything
yeah.
ready for the morning because they had fucking breakfast, like
Right.
the
Yeah.
morning breakfast. And I had the
Yep.
early morning breakfast to deal with.
And the
you know?
drunk dickheads.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was doing it all by myself. It was
Wow.
just me behind that fucking counter because, everyone quit, usually. And I worked with this one guy. He worked the register and I basically did everything else. His
Yeah.
name was Lamar.
He was a
fucking
creep.
weirdo.
I'm gonna
And
bet that he didn't do much work.
He didn't do shit. But he had been there for forever. You know,
He was
what I
a
mean?
white
Like,
dude
it's
named
always-
Lamar. Like, what
Wow.
Oh
That's
no,
sick.
no. He had like almost like a Blake Griffin kind of thing going.
Alright,
Like,
Okay.
he had he was like a redhead and a light skinned
Albino?
black dude.
Oh,
Had
all right.
yeah,
I thought he
like
was
an
white.
albino. Yeah. So the weird thing too is he would pick the music every fucking night. All he listened to was disco. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, this fucking
This
sucks.
kid's a fucking enigma. Yo.
He's a
bro.
weirdo. No, he was like 50.
Oh
He's a
my God. This
weirdo.
gets stranger as it goes.
Yo, the one day he says to me, he goes, a Diana Ross song is playing. He goes, this song just makes me want to bite her face. I was like, what? Bite her face? I was
All right,
like,
Hannibal Lecter,
"Alright."
chill.
I was fucking probably high as shit.
Dog, I want to wear her skin. You're like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
calm down, calm
Yeah,
down,
right.
calm down.
I just want to skin her alive and put it on like a
What the
dress. you
fuck?
know?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, Lamar.
All right.
Not a
you know.
listener of the show, not a fan of the show.
No,
just
not
to
a
make
fan.
sure you
No,
guys
no.
know. Yeah,
Yeah. No way.
Fuck you, Lamar. But
So, all
I
right,
learned a
so-
valuable lesson working at that Wawa. So I'd have a crowd come in, a large crowd would come in every night for
Okay.
fucking hoagies after they were at the bar, right? So I'm dealing with
Every
all the
night.
drunks, right?
Makes sense.
And the one guy, I got a line out the door and he's like, yo, I'll give you $10 if you make my sandwich first.
Sold.
I'm like, you got it, dude. What's your
Yeah,
number?
hell
And
yeah.
So I'm like, boom, 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 going through the shit. I make a sandwich. I'm like, here's a sandwich. I pop it up. And I'm like, yo, where's my $10? And he's like, oh, gotta get paid first, bro. Or something like that. And rolls out. And I was
Oh.
like, fuck you, dude. Like, I was
That's
pissed.
the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, from that moment on, when
Money
people ask
first.
for I say, yeah,
money up on the
first.
counter,
Give me
pussy.
the money.
Yeah. Say
And
less.
I did have a tip jar out there, and I made some money. I was like, "Fuck it, let's put a tip jar out." Me
Wait,
and this
was
one dude
Wawa okay with this, or did you just make this up?
Lamar made me take it down,
Fuck you,
Were
Lamar.
would
Yeah.
you get
dude.
some
I
money in it?
I was getting tips. You know what I
I'd
mean?
have
was
tipped
getting-
you. I'm all
People,
drunk.
I leave a buck. I always
Yeah.
leave some money,
Hell
especially
yeah.
too
Hell
if you got
especially if there's a
change.
tip jar. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so they would
Right.
throw a couple bucks. By the end of the night, I made 20, 30 bucks. I'm
sense.
like,
Yeah.
dude, this is fucking sick. I was like, all
Hell
right,
yeah.
now I could do something with this.
Yeah.
Hell
I made
yeah.
a little bit of money. And he's like, I was like, dude, fuck you. So
Yeah.
the one day I'm outside.
Suck it, Lamar.
Yeah, I'm outside. My one buddy came, and all my friends would come in after they were drinking all drunk and this, and I'm like, oh, this sucks, dude.
Make my
So-
sandwich, motherfucker.
I went to smoke a cigarette outside, and I'm out there, and at this point I had found
Marlboro
my
Miles?
next. I think it was at that point I don't know what I was smoking,
Defunct.
but I might have been. But so at this point I had found another job, right? And I was like, it started in like a week and a half, and so I was like, I
Yeah.
got enough money to get me through to the next week. And I'm outside, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this place. I was like, dude, flip a coin. I was like, heads, I'm quitting right now. Tails, I'll stay for the rest of the shift. You know what I mean? Landed on heads. I walked in. I'm like, yo, I'm done. I quit. See ya. I handed him my apron. He's like, yo, dude, we were just about to promote you. Like, all right, get the fuck out of
So
here.
what? $8? Suck it.
Yeah, right. It's $8 an hour to freeze my
Dude,
ass
that
off and
job
do all the
ain't
work.
worth fucking $20 an hour. That ain't fucking.
Let me
that
replace
job's
Lamar with a hot bitch, and I'll think about staying.
Yeah, we had like a store meeting, and that's all everybody was talking about. Can we get some good looking girls to work here? That's all they were talking about. And it was funny is that like I had only been there like a month and a half, and I started like it was me and a bunch of black dudes, right? and I'm like leading the charge. I was like so I was like, let me talk to them about it. I was like, hold on a second, you know what I mean? Because they were all, I guess, from the city. I'm like this suburb kid that like at least knows how to like say what I wanted to say. Yeah. So I'm like, we're not doing this right. We're not doing this right. And they're like, yeah, Tom, that's right, Tom. I'm like, that's right. And I was like, and I don't even know where this is. I've been here a month. No one's showing me shit. I'm doing all this. And they're like, damn, Tom.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, and we need some fucking hot chicks here.
I love this.
And they were like,
yeah. Awesome.
You're not wrong. So then, all right. So you say, fuck off, Lamar. Right?
Yeah.
How awesome is that to fucking quit and walk out? Great feeling.
When I left, I felt good that I didn't have to finish the shift.
Oh,
yeah.
When I was doing it, I felt weird. Like I was like, damn, I'm just abandoning this dude, but I don't give a fuck.
And you did this mid like shift, right? Like you said.
I showed up, at 11. This might be 1 a.m, and I'm like,
give him?
Fuck this. I'm out of here.
Did you give him the what is it?
Fuck
the how
you,
high?
fuck you.
The how high? Yeah. Did you give him the how high?
Half baked.
Half baked. Yeah.
No, I just said, hey man, I quit. I walk in, I was like, here's my apron, and he's like, what? You're leaving? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. And I'm
taking my tip jar too.
I should have made myself a sandwich. I should have made myself like a week's worth of sandwiches.
Yeah, hell yeah. Took all the meat, pulled out the little aluminum trays, and like
I was always eating this shit back there anyways. I'm like, I'm fucking hungry. Like I'm just, I'm gonna have like a mini sandwich, a little meatball, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Be real honest. You ever had a guy that was unruly and you gave him a little honest sandwich to let him know you're the boss before you wrap him up?
Nah, never there. I did have like we used to have the I had to like do like chicken cutlets, which was a pain in the ass. So
at
like
Wawa?
Yeah.
You mean so chicken fingers? Where do they have cutlets at Wawa?
They had like this.
They had a chicken cutlet sandwich. It was in like
it's a chicken finger. It's not a cutlet though.
No. They had a cutlet gimmick.
Wait, someone was tenderizing.
You had to bake
dude,
it
came frozen.
A real piece of chicken.
It came in a frozen bag with great. Yeah, dude, I agree with you.
Yeah,
but the way they sold it,
I hear you.
Yeah, the way they sold it, it was like
bad.
It came in a bag with gravy, and you put it in the water. It was thawed, and then you put it in the container, and then it'd be like 3 cutlet strips or whatever.
No.
Yeah, okay.
These were straight cutlets. You'd put them in the oven on the sheet, and you throw them in the sheet,
those ones,
and
right?
Hit the button, and you let
it
it bake. And so then, but they took a while. So then you'd have to throw a bunch in. And then by the time you're through them, like if I'm through them, I'm busy making sandwiches. Hey, I didn't have time to throw them in, but they're not off the screen yet that someone orders. I just remember one time I had one in there that was a shitty ass looking cutlet. You know what I mean? Like it was burnt to shit. I was like, fuck it. I'm putting the sandwich up. I'm wrapping it up and I'm sending it out. I got it. Like, I don't got time for this shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, at least you didn't spit in it. But okay.
No.
So I would never. I don't think I've ever. But because
thought about it.
Yeah, for sure. I could, but who's that? Who does? So okay. So let's keep it moving. So then you leave Wawa. What's the job you had lined up, and where'd you go?
So my other friend that we were living with,
shout out,
show listener of the show, Rick
former
Outland,
guest of the show,
and he
was a guest a year ago.
He had worked at this camp called Camp High Point, and so he was going to be working there. My license was still suspended at the time, so I was like, I had a ride to work every day. So I got the job, and I had a summer job lined up, and I started working at Camp High Point. I was the high ropes instructor at Camp High Point.
Pretty nice.
It's a pretty sweet job. It's actually like
plus
awesome
too. It's
job.
like all like the people that work there were all awesome, right?
Oh everyone. Yeah. Everyone was so cool. Everyone that we hung out with, like we really like everyone like bonded really well, and like we had like a really fun group that worked there. And so basically, like we're waking up every morning. We go there and we fucking played kickball, and then we played basketball, and then like the kids would come over to the high rope. I would do the fucking high rope, and I had to go to like an extra training thing for it, but it was kind of sweet that like I didn't have a group that I had to like take care of. They would come over, and I was in charge of them, even though they had their counselor. I was just in charge of them, like climbing this shit, and then that was it. You know, I didn't really have to do anything else. And a lot of times
you have to tell them like, look, you will be strapped in like this. There's no doing this. There's no doing this. You need to watch for this. This person goes, you wait. Like, did you have to like hit them with the rules?
Yeah, there was a lot of safety stuff. You know, they had to put the harnesses on. You had to click them in. You had to check everything, make sure it was tight. And then you just held the ropes and did it. One of the times when they had like, you know, they'd have like secret shoppers like at certain places. So they had, I guess, inspectors or something coming out to check the safety of everything. Because there was like an archery station. There was like a bunch of different shit there. Yeah. So one of the times there was like 4 adults that were like coming to like check all the things. And so they were doing all this stuff, the art, like whatever. And so now they get to the high ropes. And now this one dude was a fucking big ass dude. I mean, he might have been like, I don't know, 300 pounds. He was fucking
too big to be on the high ropes. Too big.
Yeah. So he's on the high ropes and I'm at the bottom and I'm holding him and like I'm hooked in and stuff like that. And so the fucker thinks it's like funny to like
yank you up your feet.
So yeah, he's like at the top and he's like, wee, and he like jumps off, like does a jump off. Like, so it's like, it's be one thing if he just like kind of came down. When you jump up and like then like come down. Yeah. It's like a pull. So like I'm watching him and I hold him. And so then like it lifts me up. You know what I mean? Like he was way bigger than me. So like it pulls me up and then it lifts me up and I'm up in the air. And now we're like looking at each other and I'm like looking at him. You know what I mean? Like we're in the air, like up in the air. And so then I just start slowly letting, you know, all right, here we go. You fucking jerk off. You had to do that.
Hope your ankles feel okay when I drop your ass.
I should have dropped his ass. Yeah. But you know.
Did you yell at him like, hey, fuckhead?
No, I just kind of, you know.
Did you
like, I was going up. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, here
we go. Did you fat shame him?
Well, so I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like it's like all the other people, they were like, all right. But like, it was like, hey, if he fucking handled that, I mean, there's no kid that
he's fine. Go ahead, do whatever you fucking want. He just handled the rhino.
Yeah.
He's lucky. Yeah, basically was a rhino. He's basically he's lucky I was fucking paying attention, dude. Because if he would have just jumped on and I didn't have like a grip on it or nothing like that.
Rip your shoulder blades out.
He would have just gone, dude. This thing's fucking 40 feet in the air.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah. This thing's up high. They don't call it the high ropes for nothing. You know what I mean?
I thought maybe kids were smoking a bowl before he went up there. I don't fucking know.
I just have him tying knots. All high.
Let's see who falls. Tie your own knot.
I remember the parties you would have at the house with High Point. Those, dude. I remember people like coming up to me, like my buddies, be like, dude, we've been to a million parties. This is the best party we've ever been. This is so much fun.
Well, you know what? The crew that we had too, we'd been partying for years at this point now. Ricky was a great party thrower. We all like knew how to throw a fucking party.
We had our music down.
Yeah, we had it all going. And we just like the best party that I can remember was the thrift store party. That was like to me, that was like the most fun party that we had there. It just got like wild. The whole thing was you had to come there wearing stuff you bought at the thrift store. You can't wear anything that you had not purchased at the thrift store. So everyone shows up with their crazy outfits, that they got at thrift store. And we just had like the best time ever.
Shout out thrift stores. You'll find some dope shit in them things.
Yeah, right. Like it wasn't even like if you wanted to like the girls are looking good and some people look funny as shit. And we're like, this was fun. Yeah. And nobody gave a shit what happened to their clothes. You know what I mean?
Great idea.
Just like
so I'll tell you this, Cabot. I am forever scarred. Whenever I go into a bath, no matter when, where, who, or what. And if there's a bathtub and the curtain's drawn all the way over, I always check in the bathtub behind the curtain. I always do it. Right? There's a reason why. Tom,
Uh-oh.
do you care to share the story?
Oh God. Well, so I'm not super proud of this, but so either way,
the hesitation in your voice says it all.
well, this is the reason why I'm not really proud of it. There was this girl at the
Camp.
camp that was working there, and she's a cool
Awesome
girl.
girl.
And so,
Okay.
but she had dated one of my boys, you know what I mean, back in the
Right.
day. And so they had just broken up or whatever, shortly before that.
They
And
dated
so-
for a while though.
Yeah, they dated for a while and all this stuff. And I was friends with this guy. And
Just so
then,
I got a better visual, because I'm a fucking weirdo. Is she hot?
She's good
yeah,
looking.
she's cute.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Hell yeah.
Good looking.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Proceed.
So
And like an awesome chick. So
yeah,
it's
Hell
like good looking and
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. hell
cool
yeah.
personality, the whole
Hell
deal.
yeah.
So, but she was
got her
like,
number?
she was with my buddy for a little while. So
Yeah.
either way, we're working together now and stuff like that. And I could kind of tell that I think she was digging me, you know what I mean?
Right,
And so I'm
right.
like, okay, whatever, And now we're drunk at this fucking party and they're broken
Oh
up.
boy.
And
Oh
then
boy.
she pulls me into the bathroom and we start making out. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're making out, fuck. And so then we're in there, and next thing you know, a couple minutes goes by, I hear a knock at the bathroom door. And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, yo,
We only had
can't-
one bathroom.
Yeah, I was like, we can't fucking walk out of here, because then everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're fucking hooking up,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so she's like, all right, and I'm like wasted, and she's like, here, just wait here in the shower until it
There's no one.
till you can get out. Well, next thing you know, I'm in there for 4 or 5 people coming in and out of this thing, fucking pissing, and I'm standing there just trying not to move. I'm like, I'm in this fucking shower. Fuck. People are just pissing. And I hate the sound of hearing people piss. And I'm sitting in there and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Don't make a noise. Nobody open this curtain. Nobody open this curtain. Because I guess a line had backed up.
Yeah.
So now, next thing you know, I'm standing there and the fucking curtain opens. And there's this fucking girl there. And she opened it. I want to say her name was Lisa.
No, it was
It's Lisa for right now, Matt. Stop it. It's
all right,
Lisa.
All right.
Yep,
Well, it's
yep.
not-
What was it?
Lisa was
Less editing for
I
you,
think it
but
was
Lisa.
Adrian.
Nah.
Something like that.
Whatever.
I like Adrian.
So-
Either way.
Either way, she fucking opens it. I'm like, I was like, this is not what you think it is. This is not what you think it is. I was like,
I'm
this
not
is
a
what
peeping
happened.
Tom.
Yeah,
I
peeping
am
Tom,
Tom, but I'm
too.
not peeping
Tom.
right?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God, peeping fucking Tom. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't what you think it is. Look, this is what happened. I hooked up with so and so. We couldn't, but she put me in here. Blah blah blah.
She sucked my dick.
Yeah, and so then I'm there, and I'm like, well, wait a second. What are you doing going in my shower? What are you doing?
Yeah,
She's like-
bitch.
She's like, well, there was no soap on the, bachelor pad. There was no soap on the,
Dude, that
sink,
means
so-
all the people before didn't wash their hands.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I
so
don't
next
wash
thing you
my hands
know,
when I piss either, but
there's a
whatever.
line. There's still a line out there, and me and her walk out of there now. So nobody saw me go in with her. And they see me, I'm like, "Get outta here."
Yeah.
So I'm
Hell
trying to cover it
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Great
But,
cover. Great cover.
It was kind of a crazy moment. I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, what is going on? But
Hell yeah.
it is what it is.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
an outro to be like, oh, because you blew my shit up, we walking out together. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell everybody I fucked you too.
Yeah. She was cool. That chick was cool too, but she
Good
was
for
like,
her.
she was like a hippie chip. Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah. They're the
Anyone
best.
else, I think any other person could have
Would've lost their
freaked
mind.
out.
Dude,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? But she it was the right person.
She's
to
a
open
hippie.
it
Imagine
She's
for.
all
if
like,
it was
should we get
like, hey,
naked? You're
peace
like,
and
no, 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 no,
love,
no.
peace and love, man.
Imagine
That's
if it was the girl's dude, you know what I mean? Right? The
Well,
girl
he
you hooked
wasn't
up with.
there.
Yeah, I'm saying, but if he was, and if it was him, it would have been
No.
awkward. But
Yeah.
yeah, but
Oh, it
still.
sucked, dude. He called me. He called the next day and was like, "Yo, was anyone there hooking up with the girl, whatever?" He was
No.
asking me, and I was like, "I did, dude." I was like, "Sorry, man." I
At
told him
least
that-
you told him though. You told
I
him though.
guess, I felt bad. Still feel bad actually.
Well,
I
see,
mean,
ain't your girl no
dude,
more.
she
Stop
did
hoeing.
it though. It was her though. She was the aggressor. you know?
Never check the player, check the bit.
Yeah, it was her fault. She's the
Yeah.
one with the titties.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Yeah.
but a man. I'm but a
Nice.
man.
Yeah. So
But,
okay.
yeah.
So let's So let's keep moving in. So like we said, awesome parties there, really fun stuff, really great times. And then let's keep it going. So you leave. High Point ends after the summer, right?
Yes,
And it
after
was
the
a
summer, High
great
Point's
summer.
end.
Great summer. Dude, that was a
one of the best
blast.
summers of my life.
That was a
Great
blast
summer.
that summer.
Great summer.
Yeah. Okay.
So
then what'd you
then
get
after
into?
we do there, now I'm like looking for another job. I think I got a job at the Ruby Tuesdays in at the mall.
Fuck that
Montgomeryville
place.
Mall.
So this is what happened. You were living in Roxborough. You lived down there for a while. Eventually, you would move back home, and I would move down to Roxborough in that house, right? So you and me would switch places. And then when you came back, you would like do the Monco thing for a little bit, and then
that's right.
You
I was
did
going
Ruby
to,
Tuesdays.
they had me sign up for. That's what I did. I signed up for Monco for a semester, and then I didn't have a car or anything like that, so I didn't go there. So that was like, well, fuck that. I ain't doing this shit. So, but it cost me like $3,000 to go there, I think, or maybe it was $1,300 at the time.
So many broads at Monco. For all you young bulls out there, don't be ashamed. There's plenty of twat there.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
I think kids now realize that community college is the way to
go.
Like
Don't
most
be spending
of the,
all that money.
Yeah, most of the young kids I talk to, they're like, I think the message is now, if you're not 100% sure on what you're doing, or if you're not getting paid to go to the
or you're not a freak athlete.
Yeah, like if they're not paying, like if they're not giving you money to go there, or you don't have a scholarship, or if you're not 100% sure what you're gonna major in, don't waste the fucking money. Go to community college, because like places like Monco and stuff, they have just the same. Like I remember
Great credentials.
Oh, I had a buddy that he went there. He did the music stuff there, and the same professor, he would brag about this. He taught at Drexel and he taught at Monco, and he would tell them, he's like, just to let you know, teaching the same exact thing at Drexel and here, and they're paying thousands of dollars.
And your class is $2,800 here, and the class there is $12,000.
Yeah, exactly. So
I was ahead of the curve on that. I said, I'm not paying for this shit. And after one semester, I was like, all right, I'm done with that. So then I needed to like towards the end of that semester, I was like still trying to get a job, and I got a job at Ruby Tuesdays. Still didn't have a car, so I'm like walking to the mall half the time if I couldn't get a ride and all this shit. Eventually moved back down to Roxborough, where I got a job at Applebee's. And I started working at Applebee's. And I was.
Did you have flair?
Dude.
No.
That
I was like
honestly,
the anti flair. I was like an Applebee's rebel.
You should have wore like wrestling medals and shit and been like, this ain't the same thing.
Nah, no flair.
Dude.
What was I gonna say? It was a different experience.
It was the worst. It's legit. I've had some shitty jobs. Worst place I ever worked, worst job I ever had. I fucking absolutely hated it. The people that were there weren't great. The only good looking chicks, Tom dated both of them, right? I was like, great. No, you know, like, I guess I can't do anything here.
You could have dropped acid and looked at that weird ass roof they always had in them places. What was that about? The checkered, like fucking colored ceilings? Remember that was
Fridays. I think that was Fridays.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm fucking it all up.
Dude, either way, I absolutely
same shit. It's all the same shit.
I was working at this this Italian place on the main line, left there, worked at Applebee's for 3 months, and then begged to go back to the Italian place. And then stayed at the Italian place for like 6 more years. But it was like I hated every second of it. Tom, I was waiting tables, right? Tom was bartending. There was a difference. Tom made more money. He had like more of like a responsibility and like a higher rank, and I was just like waiting tables, and it sucked, dude. It sucked. Like, also, when you work at a restaurant, like most of the time people rely, like especially at that age, you rely on your most of your food's coming from work, right? If you work at a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're eating at work, which a lot of people did, which I was fucking used to. Applebee's, they don't feed their employees, right? Like, there's this shit called dead food, right? So like, say a cook makes something and it's a mistake. They were supposed to make the fajitas and not the quesadillas.
What do they call that? They like 86 it or something?
Exactly.
What's the little term?
Yeah,
how do I know that?
It's dead
somebody
food.
waitresses
Yeah,
I banged.
exactly. So like at Applebee's, right? Every other restaurant in the world, if there's dead food, they just let the servers eat it, right? They know the servers are hungry, keep them happy, whatever. And it should be like you're wasting food otherwise.
100%.
At Applebee's, they throw the shit out in front of you,
who owns Applebee's? ISIS? What kind of shit is this?
Exactly.
Group. It was the Rose Group.
Exactly.
terrible.
I saw the fucking regional manager of Applebee's come in, take a raw hot dog, dip it in blue cheese, and eat it. This fucking guy in front of they have a cold bar
immediately. I would have quit immediately.
Dude,
I didn't even bite it.
Yo, I will never. I would
full glizzy.
Be like,
full glizzy.
he licked off the blue
He
cheese.
just licked it up.
Yo, if I were you, I mean, they're not gonna sponsor us. I would never fucking eat there. Never.
Fuck Applebee's.
I legit had a basket of riblets that Tom found a staple in one time. He found a staple in the riblets. But either way, I had a basket of riblets, right? I had them on the counter at like the expo. I drop the basket and it falls face down on the floor. The riblets fall face down on the floor, right? I'm standing next to the manager, the on-shift manager. I put the riblets back in the basket, put it back on the counter, kind of fix it. And he looks at me and just says, go. And I take them out to the table and serve.
Well, you're a
them.
piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And so was the
That's
manager.
dude, that's just how the fucking place was.
First the handicap spot, now this.
Now you're fucking, yeah, you fucking,
Dude,
now,
that's what Applebee's does to you.
I don't want to do this no more with you.
You really seem the kind of person I am. But Tom had a different experience. And also, this opened up an avenue for him because he would meet, we'll say Jack Door, right? Great fucking guy, really great friend. Tom's really become pretty close with him. He's a great, great fucking dude. And he was bartending at a bar that we all know called Graham's Pub, land of the free, home of the brave, right?
Graham's
so
Pub.
he was bartending there, and he would come in. He was one of Tom's regulars at Applebee's. He would come in and get the country fried chicken, right? Loved it.
And they took that off.
Not the
menu.
hot dog with blue cheese. No hot dog with nobody ordering that.
No. And then
you get the burgers and you know stuff like
him
that.
him and his wife were just awesome. Like they would let us Tom house sit, and they had a pool and like these huge greyhounds, right? We would go with him to Notre Dame to see Notre Dame games. Like he's a great dude, man. Awesome guy.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, he's awesome. And he hooked up Tom with a job at Graham's, how long have you been there, Tom? You've been at Graham's for a while. So either way.
Enough.
Yeah, you've been at Graham's long enough.
All I know is I bought a house in Roxborough in 2013. And I've been to Graham's a bunch of times because my girl was from South Philly. All our friends grew up in East Falls. They weren't Roxborough people. They hated Roxborough people. They're East Falls neighborhood rivalry. But I would go there here and there because I'd sometimes wash my clothes over there before I got all our shit situated. And one time I walk in and I see Tom. I'm like, the fuck? How do I see you there? I haven't seen you in 5 years. I see you here. What the fuck?
Yeah, I am.
There he was.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there's a couple of East Falls guys that are all right.
Applebee's
sure.
did suck though. I mean, there was some shit that like, you know, I just remember I would have like vivid dreams. Like, so at the bartending area, you had to wait on the bar, and then you had like the service bar where all the drinks would like print up. And you had to,
hold on. So for people like me, you two understand this. The service bar is like the spot where the waitresses come up and get the drinks and shit.
Okay, exactly.
Because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah,
you two are. It's like got it.
Got it. You're exactly right.
You're doing all the you're like doing all those drinks.
Milkshakes.
And so those like tickets just keep coming, right?
Pouring,
You're making drinks for the whole restaurant.
Right.
And so it's like, I remember having a dream and I'm like always late or whatever. And I get there and there's like the sheet of like drinks that need to be made. And like, I just can't catch up. And like, I'd wake up and be like, whoa, what's going on?
Dude,
now, just so I know too,
noise.
do they print it like a food tickets? Like you have like a thing with all, okay.
Yeah,
Understand.
like
Yep.
Yeah. It would make that noise, and oh my god!
Come get your fucking drinks. I'm running out of space,
dude. And they're like, and it's not like it's easy shit either.
It's not like just bottle of Miller Lite.
I need a pineapple martini dry with extra.
And he had to
shut up.
and you had to use a
the two
jigger
mucho
for
Bahama
everything.
mamas and blah blah blah. All this
Mucho
other shit.
Bahama
But
mama.
dude, but you had to use a jigger with everything too, which
Yeah,
is
like
now,
a
don't
measuring.
get racist. Don't get
No,
racist.
it's-
Tell me what that is.
the Met. Did you ever see like?
I know what it is. The little
It
metal
looks
jar where
like
they count your
yeah,
fucking shots.
exactly. It's like
Every
two different things. Every time
I've
he had
ever
to
been
use
a place, every time I've ever been to a place that does that, I'm like, I don't want to drink.
yeah.
I don't want to drink here.
It's
I
awful.
like the strong pours, allegedly. You can possibly get allegedly at a grams where I'm gonna tip you more when I see you pour head.
Yeah, dude. Dude.
I'm also an alcoholic, but whatever.
Also, it's not hard to figure out how to do a fucking like 1 ounce pour. It's just 1 second.
1,000, boom. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of it's just the time and when you see the glass where the liquid's at the glass. You're like, oh,
And I
that's the
love-
line. That's the line.
I like when people try to use the excuse, like they're like, "Oh, my boss says that's how we save money on the liquor." I'm like, "Oh, well, I just gave out 17 free beers, but yeah, I'll use the jigger, no problem. Here you go. Here you go. Here, you want some more free beers?"
Plus, dude, the people, I don't know, man. The people that, I mean, whatever. Enough hate on Applebee's.
Yes.
It sucks. But either way, so you get out
I
of
met a
there.
lot of cool people there. I think we, but yeah,
Dude,
it
I
was
remember
it was
I
a
had-
bizarre place to work. You had a mix of everything. Believe
And hold
me.
on, just to be in all transparency, most people go to fucking Applebee's not because their food's delicious. They go there because they have fucking deals. So
Yeah.
obviously, if a person's
Yeah.
going there to get a fucking
half off apps.
bite, yes, I'm not gonna give you a full tip because I'm already looking to have the cheapest.
Right.
I'm going J Dub. We're gonna call it the J Dub move. I'm looking for the J Dub.
I got
Yeah,
J Dubs. Matt got J Dubs there a lot.
I got J-dubbed so fucking much there, dude.
He's
fucking-
gone, and we made a new name for not getting tipped as
Yo.
the J Dub.
Dude, I got fucking J-dubbed to next week there. It was the fucking worst. I hate it. It is awful. Absolutely awful. Plus two, I mean, I don't know, man. It just sucked. People are stupid. Plus two, like they would let 10, like a group of 5 top and it's 5 fifth graders, right? That are just like annoying as shit. And they fucking JW because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Of course, which I understand. These guys have no fucking idea. Now, I dated a girl who used to work at Hooters. She used to hate the one wing night because all these high school kids would come in and none of them could like pay for it. So they'd all put their money together and you would get like 16 cents on $100 tab. Because
Yeah.
and she's like, I couldn't fucking yell at them because they're fucking 17. Like they don't know no better.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
So-
weigh it all out, you get a lot of tips. My theory is you're going to get some bad ones and then you just
Yeah.
take them because you get the good ones too.
100%.
Hey,
You get people that
sometimes
come
you just
in
gotta
and
put
leave
the
you,
money in the drawer.
leave you $10 for a drink. And you're like, oh shit, nice. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's a nice person right
Also-
there.
Yes.
Also, the one good thing about Applebee's is we met the freak there,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Javon
yeah, that's right.
Curse
Javon Curse.
and Lido Shepherd. Remember Shadu?
Oh, yeah.
Shadu was like, you know who's really cute, really good looking?
Tito Shepherd.
That Tito Shepherd. I fucking lost it. I was like, you mean Lido?
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, we went to Javon Curse's house. We went to a party at Javon Curse's house. He used to do
Like an Eagles party.
after OTAs, I think it was, Tom,
It
or
was right at the beginning of the season. I forget. He just had a big party and like
yeah.
not every single one, but majority.
Dude,
of
it was
the
when
Eagles were
Takeo
there.
Spikes was on the team.
Hell
Takeo
yeah.
Spikes,
So-
and
Hell
Sean
yeah.
Andrews,
Big Baby Sean Andrews, Trent
Get
Cole,
the fuck out of here.
Trent
with that
Cole,
fruitcake.
AJ Feely, Sheldon Brown, Lido Shepherd.
AJ Feely was bartending.
Yeah,
AJ
yeah,
Feely was Mr. Steal Your Girl. He was notorious
dude.
for
It
fucking regular
was
guys chicks, but okay.
dude.
Legendary.
We were at the party,
Pat
right?
Burrell status.
Yes.
Dude, we were
Wow.
we were at
John
the
Lynch
party.
status.
We were at the party, right? And dude, he's got a big massive house in Voorhees, right? Like this huge mansion. He's got a tiki pool, a tiki bar, a pool, and a pond. Like we were there the one day, he's flying around on his 4-wheeler, and we were like, fuck, what if we're here the day fucking freak gets in an accident on his 4-wheeler and his career? Like that'd be weird. But either way.
I think DJ Touchdown was DJ in the party.
Hell yeah.
But we
Hell
were hanging out, like we go in there and right away, like, dude, this is when I knew we were boys because he dapped me up. I was like, oh, fucking freak, we're boys now, because we had played them in Mario Kart the day before. And I guess his publicist or his manager, this guy Nafis, he was a really cool dude. that's how like we met him.
Yeah.
And Tom met him and then brought me.
I think they were just boys. I think he played with them in Florida.
How old were
Yeah.
you guys at this point?
23, 24.
Yeah.
Oh my
Young.
God. Thank God I wasn't part of that. I would have stole everything in his house and sold it on fucking eBay. Anyway.
It was a
But-
nice house. I wouldn't say it was like very like
Dude, but-
it was.
'Cause they don't stay there
furnished.
long. They're not buying
Yeah,
there forever
but it
home. They're
wasn't
just
like-
buying some shit to sleep in while I
Exactly.
play
Dude,
PC.
half of it was fucking empty. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
But
Half of
he-
it was empty.
He but either way, so we're there, like he had it catered, like this big thing, right? So we go down and like we're underneath like his patio. He has like, or underneath his big balcony, he has another patio, and like we're hanging out there. And it's like me, Tom, Lido Shepherd's there, Sheldon Brown, Trent Cole, and
Hell yeah.
Javon Curse, right? And like we're all standing there, and we had brought our friend Tracy, we call her Shadu, and we brought her there. And like I look over at the pool, and there's this one white guy. He's in like jeans and Timbs and a golf shirt, walking around with like a red cup, just looking around. And I'm like, who's this fucking? And I look over, it's like, oh, Sean Considine, just fucking hanging out over there by himself. Right? Fucking white boy. But nah, dude, it was, and we ended up like, I don't want to blow him up, but we ended up fucking smoking with him and shit.
You mean the slowest white safety that's ever lived? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. But we ended up, but
I had a
remember-
long conversation with Takeo Spikes that night. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Takeo's
He's
an
an-
interesting
he's an-
guy, smart guy.
He's an
He's
intense guy.
dude.
Because, well, it was because LeBron was still on the Cavs, right? And they were making that run. They were making a run in the playoffs, right? It was when Delonte West was still on his team.
Banging his mom.
And
I didn't know where we were going with that. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Takeo, right? Like everyone's partying. Takeo's sitting in like the living room, fucking in like the lazy boy, going nuts, like hard as fuck at the TV and like screaming and like getting so hyped, like by himself. Bro,
He's a
also,
giant human.
also
giant.
his fucking neck, like
Yeah,
the
no neck.
fucking
There is
gimmick, and
What do you mean?
the
What
bull,
neck?
the bull neck in real life is legit. I was
Real.
like, this
Yeah,
fucking
it's
guy.
real.
He's
I
the
bet.
first guy, dude. When we were walking up the driveway, first thing I was like, that's fucking Takeo Spikes, because we had just got him, right? I was
He
like,
was
this fucking-
nasty at Buffalo
Oh,
before
and
us,
when he
too.
was in
So
Buffalo, he
nasty.
was the fucking man.
Nasty.
Yo, but because so this was the same year where Lido Shepherd had the pick six off against the Cowboys when T.O. came back the first time.
Yeah, it
He had
wasn't
the
the year
picks-
before he did that.
He had the pick six to win. Well, it was like the
The
season
beginning
before.
of the next season. Yeah.
It was the season before the one, like we met, like we were there. And we like, I remember thinking, be like, dude, I'll tell you what, thank you so much for that pick six against the Cowboys. He's like, oh man, that's why we do it, bro. That's why we do it, bro. And then we talked about, because you remember there
Did
was
Lido crush Reggie, or was it Sheldon that crushed
Sheldon crushed
Sheldon.
Reggie.
Yeah, Sheldon crushed
But
Reggie.
do you
all right.
remember
He was there
this?
too. Sheldon Brown.
Was he?
Sheldon
Sheldon
Yo, that's
Brown has
sick.
got some shoulders like a motherfucker.
There was no Dawkins.
sick.
There was
No,
no Dawkins.
well, I
there was
asked, I was like, yo,
You want to know
he-
why? Because he
I-
doesn't drink and he's a great human.
Well,
so
no,
he's not there to
that's
party.
That's
I know.
exactly what he said. I was like, "Is B-Doc showing up?" And he said, "He's like, nah, he only comes out for birthdays and stuff.
Yeah,
he
he
don't
don't-
come out for this."
He comes out for real shit. Yeah, not parties.
Yeah, but he's married. He's got, you know what I mean? He was older at that time. You
And
know
he's
what
a
I mean?
super religious guy. I've met him multiple times, dog.
Yeah.
Such a
Oh,
great
really?
guy. Such
Yeah.
a great guy.
Doesn't
Okay.
hurt, but we were, Shep, he was a cool dude. But do you remember this
Hell
too?
yeah.
This was like at the birth of YouTube. YouTube wasn't big yet, so you could like just find a clip on the internet, didn't know where it came from. But do you remember the clip that they had? It was the reaction of the sound of the reaction of the stadium when Lido had the pick six, where it was like normal and then right? Like, do you remember that video?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Lido had a lot of big interceptions for
He
us.
sure
was
did.
the
Dude,
man.
Lido and Sheldon were fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, everyone's like, how are we gonna take, like, who's gonna take over Bobby or Troy Vincent and Bobby the Blanket? You know what I mean, right? Like
We had a honestly 15-year run of ridiculous corners and safeties. It was ridiculous.
yeah. I mean,
Who was the other?
Nande
There was
Asamoah
Considine. Who was the other?
Fuck Considine. Before Considine, who was the giant that was with Dawkins?
That's what I was trying to
Michael
Mike
Lewis.
something?
Michael Lewis.
I was
Remember he
trying
had
to
that
think
big
of his
helmet?
name.
Guy
He-
was
Yo, I think it was number
Yeah,
32.
he was,
I think he was a monster.
He fucked up in coverage, but he would crush him.
He wasn't great in coverage.
Nah,
But
He
Dawkins
actually had a
was.
big pass interference on that play, like in that game against the Cowboys that
Yeah.
brought it down to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drew
Bledsoe was that
Bledsoe was the
quarterback.
quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
That was right before the Romo era, because it was two years later. We would be at the Silver Linings Playbook game, the 44-6 game. One of the best. That was one of the craziest games I've ever been to. It was absolute insanity. That was so much fun. That was a crazy day.
Yeah.
But okay. So either way, we got off topic, right? You finally get done it. Like there would be a time too where you'd work still have like one shift at Applebee's, but be like primarily
it was like it started
Graham,
with just one shift at Graham's, and then
you would make more in one shift at Graham's than you would make in a whole week at Apple.
I don't know about that, but so it was like, I just liked working there better. You know what I mean?
Real people at that place.
Out of the
So
corporate thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't making all these froofy,
Yeah, no milkshakes.
Island
You didn't have a
drinks.
jigger.
No
Yeah.
jigger. But so as soon as I could start picking up shifts there, I did. And then one day, I guess one of the girls that worked there got into a big argument with the owner. And I was like at home, I get a call and he's like, yo, can you come up and work this shift? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I came up and she quit and she had like 3 shifts. And I was like, look, if she's done, like if she's legitimately done, I'll take all 3 of those shifts. And then I was like, peace, Applebee's.
When you got to Graham's, though, it was a completely different place than it is now. Like when you got there they didn't buy, all they bought was lawn furniture, right? Because it would break. Like if they bought anything nice, it would just break, right? Or get broken.
Welcome to Roxborough.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like that's what it was. It was really more of a dive bar back then. Now it's like just an upscale, like fucking party bar.
It
you know
is
what
not
I'm saying?
upscale.
I would say easy on the upscale,
all
but
right.
I hear you.
It went upscale as opposed to where it was, I should say.
We've gotten better.
It's
It went
a blue
from the cellar
collar
to the
yeah.
first floor.
Yeah.
It went
We're
from
barely out of the
DeLeo's to
The
It
top
was
step.
never DeLeo's. It was never
How
DeLeo's.
yo,
dare you.
DeLeo's was
Never
the
DeLeo's.
worst.
Never Pecs. Never.
What was that? What's that
Miller's.
shit? What's that shithole that I used to live right by on Manioc Avenue? That's right on the one corner.
Oh,
So you
I
got-
know exactly what you're
It's
talking
got
about.
the little
Burn,
post, and
Burn
but-
loves that fucking
I
place.
fucking hate that
God.
place, dude.
Where?
McGivens or something.
If you go down, so if you come down like Levine, you make a left.
It's on
you make a
Manioc Ave.
Make a left on Manioc Ave, right
dude.
before you hit like Wendover or the little road that sneaks you down to go down to Castle
Yeah.
Rock on Walnut. There's a little side corner bar right before you hit Wendover.
Oh,
like,
that's
where I live.
sold. The East End.
Is that what it was called? It had like a red sign outside, just said bar.
Yeah,
That's sold.
There's
It's
a
called the
piece of
Rook now.
Shit on the inside.
It's
The
really
Rook.
nice now. The Rook.
Well,
it's
here's the
really
reason why I
nice.
hated it. When I lived in Manioc, we had a lady across the street because when I lived in Manioc, I was
I think it was
before
the
I bought a
East
house.
End.
I was 19, so we're talking, I don't know what, 2003, right? 2004. So this
Yeah.
shit was way before Manioc was Manioc, and it was still families. This lady was 500 pounds who hated us because we partied every night because everyone was underage. I get it, but she's 500 pounds, and the bitch used to get in her shitty Cavalier and drive to the top of the street to go to work at the bar because she's a bartender there. I was like, you fat bitch, just walk 50 yards. She would literally every day I'd watch her in amazement. as
Wait,
I
was
got
it a
high.
big place or a small place?
Small place?
Oh.
Dive. It was like a fucking.
Did they have
like
dishes
it
on
was-
the walls? Like, was there like dishes
I
up
can't
hanging
remember
up
that.
on
They had
the
a
wall?
pool table in the
Dude,
far back. There was
Tom,
no
Yeah.
place to know
No,
where.
that's,
I
that's
think it was
not
like
it.
McGinn's or something.
No, like
Right.
the
It was an
Irish
saloon
bar,
or
I thought.
something. The
Something saloon. Something
Yeah.
saloon. That's it. Yeah, it was a saloon.
Old time saloon, maybe.
I
don't know.
forget.
Mm.
Place was terrible, but it used to rub me the wrong way that this fat bitch would get in her car like a lazy fuck and drive 13 feet to work every day. I don't know why that got on my nerves. I don't know why.
You were like,
And there was like one entrance, and like the door to enter the place was like, it was weird. The bar like went around, like it was
Yes.
a weird entrance,
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you were walking.
No
into the
windows.
front
I
of the
felt like
bar.
I was in
Yeah,
jail.
No windows.
Yeah.
That changed now too. I want to say it's like on tap or something like something.
What's the
urban and
what?
tap.
What's the place you're talking about? The Rook? Is that a nice?
The
spot?
Rook? Yeah, that's the easy. The Rook's a nice spot. The only problem is there's no parking down there.
Yeah, definitely not where I was.
It's all neighborhood. It's all foot traffic. That's all you get.
No.
So
You guys remember the purple moose?
that's
Ugly moose. Ugly
Moose. I used to
Ugly
try to
Moose.
fuck. I used to
on,
try to fuck
on
the hot
Lyceum.
lady.
Or no,
There's
it's
this-
on Schurz. It was on
Yeah.
Schurz.
Yeah, it's on Schurz Lane. So super hot lady was the bartender there, right? Older head, like
The
Italian broad.
ugly moose.
Used to try to hit on her all the time. And then her husband came out the one time and he was dressed in a 3-piece suit. clearly Italian, smoking a big cigar, all these gold rings on. I was like, I'm never gonna try to fuck her again because I'm gonna end up in the skookle now that I met her husband.
Yeah.
You're gonna bury me in the skookle.
What so Tom, can you give us like Grams is definitely gone, let's just say it's definitely better than it was when you started.
100%.
Can you give us some maybe stories that might have, or maybe some things to maybe remind us where it was and now showcase where it is?
Where it was and where it is. I mean, there's still that Graham's charm that's there.
Sure.
That's like when I walk in, and everyone at the bar turns around to see who walked in. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Regulars will always do that.
Well, now it's a little more busier. Like
it is.
You don't notice as much when people walk in.
I said the same thing. I agree.
But I would say, oh man, there's so many fucking stories. Like we used to just hang out there and you could have the best time. One of the
I saw Hell's Angels in there last time I was in there.
Yeah, well, that happens.
I was like, time for me to leave. I'm not getting beat up by these guys.
I want to say they're pagans.
Pagans, you're right. Yeah. Well, how dare I say Hell's Angels? They're pagans.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved. If somehow they're listening to this, pagans.
I saw the jacket and the patch. Yeah, I saw the jacket and the patch. I was like, check, please.
Yeah. They're cool
fans,
guys.
They are. Snakes and nails and
snakes. I don't know.
Little Mo with the gimpy leg.
I would say one time, one of my favorites, it's like some of the people that used to work there. There was this guy that used to work there, Wayne Kavitsky, R.I.P. Fan of the show, listener to the show.
That's not cool.
Shout out, Wayne.
He was a
shout out. He just said R.I.P.
Yeah.
He was a bit. He was about
Yo, is he listening from heaven?
There was a guy there.
Hell yeah.
And there was a guy, got pulled over for drunk driving, and he's arrested at the police station. So he's there, and so for some reason he calls the bar like, "Hey, I got arrested for DUI. Can anyone come and pick me up?" Right?
What a smooth move! Called the bar.
So he calls the bar, and so then Wayne's like, "All right, I'll go pick him up." Well, Wayne goes and picks him up. Wayne's drunk. He gets arrested for a DUI.
Oh, fuck. Wayne.
So he went there and he parked in the captain's spot or something like that. He had weed in his ashtray. He's drunk. And they're like, "You're drunk, sir." So they arrested him. So then he calls and gets someone else to come pick him. So it's just like one of the funniest stories is he goes to pick him up and he gets a DUI for being drunk.
Fuck you, Fifth Precinct. Right?
And all this shit that happens.
It's hard to explain all the characters that you get in that place. There's shit that happens all the time. Like the other day,
Head on a Stick. Remember that guy?
I
was thinking about him the other day. That guy, he was a big shit starter, wasn't he?
He just rubbed people the wrong way. He wasn't a bad guy, but he was a weird guy. So that people were like, humor. I don't like that guy. No, he was always on the jukebox. I said he used to worship the jukebox, right? He would be over there and he would play this song, which is a great song. It's called "It's a Shame" by the Spinners. It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. It's a shame the way you hurt me. So he would sing it, right? And that song would be on and it would be like, do, 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 and he's like, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, you're not in the band, so chill. You're not in the band, so chill.
Dude,
let him go down.
He would be screaming it out, right? And people we would just be like, "Look at this fucking guy! Like, what is going on?"
Dude, this is also at
2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yo, legend.
So either way, we would all be like, and he wasn't a bad guy, but then eventually people would be like, "Shut the fuck up," and then he would say, you know what I mean? And so then next thing you know, they're going back and forth. So he was in there one day, head on a stick, and he's like, and I'm bartending, whatever, and he's like, "Tommy, no," and he comes over, I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "No, don't serve him." He's telling this guy, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I'm out of here." He's like, "Don't serve him, stop him, I'm begging you, don't serve, blah blah blah." And I'm like, what is going on? Well, next thing you know, he leaves, right? And I'm like, "Yo, what was that all about?" Who are he's like, "I'm his brother," right? And so I guess he had been in rehab and all this other shit. He wasn't supposed to be drinking. Right. And so I'm like, all right, well, now I feel weird serving you, dude. So anyway, he's in there and he's been drinking.
Anyway, I serve him.
Well, he's an adult. he's an adult. He wasn't drunk.
100% agree.
You know, what am I supposed to do?
100%
So
agree.
I'm like, hey,
Also,
but
Tom's
I'm
like 26 at this time.
I'm watching you, dude.
I'll serve that bowl of beer right now.
So either way, now this guy that used to come in there, Black George, we used to call him George Bank, he's in there, right? And they somehow ended up sitting next to each other. And so George was like,
Now,
this
what is
guy,
the age on these two guys? Are they like similar in age?
George is older, but I'd say he's
Okay.
probably about 10 to 12 years older.
All right.
I would say you're looking at late 50s to late 60s.
All right, so not a bad generational gap. Like these guys are the same like era kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But so George is a big guy, you know, and
Former boxer.
he was like someone
man.
that
Not
would
the
like
one.
he would always
He's
like
fucking
like
argue
no
with
matter what, like you
everybody.
could say to George, he would
Sky's blue.
say he would say the sky's blue, and I'd go, you know what, George, you're right, the sky is blue. And he'd go, nah, man, you don't understand. You don't understand this. And I'd be like,
Hell yeah, I
all
like
right, dude,
George.
whatever.
Hell
So
yeah, George.
now the next thing you know, they're sitting there and he's talking and he's like, you know what? I don't like your brother. I never liked your brother. And I don't like you. I don't like you. And I never liked your brother. I used to kill killers. I killed killers, man. You know,
right,
like
calm
saying all
down.
this stuff like this. And so the guy stands up, Brock said, he's standing there, and George is like, I never liked it, blah, 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 and like just running his mouth. The guy just goes, whack, and smacks him right across the face. And I'm like, holy shit. And so I like run around the bar, and George now gets smacked. And he always wore these like flapjack hats.
Yeah.
The hats, and now he like is hitting them. So I run over and grab him, and I like shove the guy out of the bar and like throw him like, get the fuck out of here. Don't come back, blah, blah, blah. Because this is my
Holy
first time seeing the
shit.
guy. I want nothing to do with him. And so then
Yeah.
like,
You actually
We got
know
you-
George. Get the
yeah.
fuck out, you.
so we get George's hat back, whatever. And I'm like, George, you all right, man? He's like, yeah, man, I blocked that shit. I was like, blocked it with your face,
your
bro.
nose? Yeah, with your
Blocked
nose?
it.
Dude,
he's
so-
like, I blocked that shit, man.
Yo.
I blocked that shit.
So did you know Snake that comes in, Tom? Snake?
Yeah, I know Snake.
You know Snake's friend that dresses as a woman but is a man?
Oh, well, I don't know the person's name, but I remember that story. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, convincing looking woman. And then that woman was sitting on George's lap and getting all very close with George. And then
Making out.
we
They
found
made
out that was not a woman.
Dude, I was there when it happened, and I was there the night Snake told him that wasn't a woman. It was a man.
That was a big piece of humble pie for George. You know,
Dude,
proud man.
Oh,
Wait.
he
George
was.
made out with a bull?
Dude, he didn't,
He didn't
know.
know.
So there's this girl, dude that comes in dressed as a chick,
The
Right.
transvestite.
comes in and
Hold on,
is
I've seen
convincing
some of
enough.
those before. Okay, that I'd say less.
Is
Go ahead.
convincing
Super
enough.
convincing.
That's what I was about to
Yeah.
I
ask.
didn't know.
Okay.
I
Okay,
didn't
say
know.
less.
You
Say
wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. George is also like 65, and this
Right.
this
And
person's
drank a
like,
bottle of Crown Royal a day.
And how
this
old's this
person's
tranny?
like 30.
Yeah,
right?
so he thinks he's fucking macking on some young drunk.
Yo, he thinks he's the fucking
Fuck,
king,
man.
bro.
I hate this 30-year-old tranny for doing that to this poor old man. Fuck you.
That's what I
Bro.
told the tranny. The tranny
Yeah.
came in. The tranny came in like
Do whatever you want, tranny. Don't
a
do
couple
that.
months later. I said, "Look, no one gives a fuck." I was like, first
I
of
don't
all,
care
I
if
was
you
like,
want to
were
staple on your
you
forehead.
were you previously like what's going on? Are you transvestite? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I don't give
He
a
was
shit
like,
that I don't give a shit that you're a transvestite.
I don't
I was
care
like,
either.
you cannot
care less.
deceive people in here. I was like,
Nah,
you're
nah,
gonna get
it's not right.
murdered. I was like,
Yeah.
you're
This
gonna
is
kill.
not the bar. This is
Yeah.
not the bar.
I was
I was like, if George sees you, he's gonna fucking kill you.
I was like, so
Try that at Main Street, not here.
I was like, you go hook up with her, but just let him know you're like,
yeah,
you know,
you have to tell
I'm
him.
working with a gun. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, like I'm packing a salami.
I mean, this is 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying too? This isn't
Trannies
today.
weren't accepted. Yeah.
Well,
It was
George
a
has
long-
been
it
dead
was-
for a few years.
Yeah, George is R.I.P. George.
R.I.P. George.
But
I feel like I
Yeah.
need to beat this.
I
tranny
will
up
say
with George's
George did
name.
hook up with some like hot young chick the
Hell
one time.
yeah,
She like
George.
grabbed him and made out with him, and
George is a legend.
me and Greg were like, holy shit! Like, did that
Hell
just
yeah.
happen? Yo, him and we had one time.
Hell yeah.
Dude, they used to race out front. They
Oh
were
my
arguing.
God.
Foot
Him-
race?
George,
Stop
who's like
it.
a 60-something-year-old man, Vietnam veteran, whatever, was racing Johnny Bug Eyes outside for like
Johnny
$5.
Bug
Like,
Eyes.
yo,
Fucking bugs.
We'd
I
be
already
out
like
there-
this guy's name.
I'd be, you know, I'm bartending.
Johnny Bug Eyes.
I'm bartending and I'm drunk and I'm out there like, all right, when I lower my hand, you
Are
two
you doing
race."
the thing?
And the whole bar is outside watching these two idiots race in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Jordan's like, I could take you in a race, no problem,
Now,
man.
I gotta know. Are they going?
Bugs is
uphill, or
like,
are they
what?
going
Well, you
down?
could make me.
I can run.
Who
We
won?
running
Bug
down
eyes.
the parking
Bug
lot.
Eyes won
Yeah,
by a mile.
Down?
the parking lot.
Yeah.
How much did he win by?
I mean, it was only like a 30-yard race. So yeah, it wasn't by much, but he did beat
Took them
him.
both 50
So
seconds to
this
do it,
hap-
but whatever.
This happened to George.
It was hilarious.
This happened
and
to
there, dude. You would not believe the amount of times there have been races out front of
That's awesome.
of Grams.
It's
I mean, it's
everything.
happened at least a half a dozen times. I've seen the races. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So this happened to George one time. This reminds me. So there's this white dude.
I love this guy, by the way.
There's-
I've never met him, and I know he's
George-
I love this guy.
George was an all-time character. He was a pain in the fucking ass, but
Yeah.
he
But
was an
sounds
all-time
awesome. Yeah,
character.
I love
Dude,
this
we
guy.
talk about George all the time.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Nothing but love for him and like
These stories are
total
fantastic.
respect.
Yeah.
But
Fantastic.
but these are all true. But this happened too. There's this dude that comes in. He's a white dude. He's probably maybe like 6'1", right? And he's kind of portly, right?
Mhm.
He's not, I wouldn't say fat, but he's kind of portly. But he's
Right.
like a cool guy. He comes in and he can dunk a basketball, right?
So he's
And
athletic.
So he claims. He claims.
he
Yeah, did
claimed
anybody
does.
see
but
this?
well, no, but like,
Exactly.
but here's the thing.
Well, he claimed that he could dunk a basketball.
He claimed that he could dunk it, right? And George goes off like, no fucking way. Look
Yeah,
at
'cause
you.
he's a
You're a
6'1".
fucking slob. You
Yeah, no
fucking
way.
white boy.
No
You
way.
can't fucking dunk. Like,
Nope,
he goes
nope.
off. And the guy's like, look, I can do it. And his girl is there. His wife's there. His buddy. They're like, no, he definitely can. Right.
Yeah,
And
fuck all
George
you
is like,
guys.
nah, fuck you. I
Yep.
bet you $100 you
Yeah.
can't dunk a bet. He's like, you don't want to make that bet. I can definitely dunk it. And we don't need to make this bet. I'm just telling you, we can leave it. George doesn't leave it alone.
I
Right?
love George. I
George
wouldn't have
does.
either.
He's not. Fuck you. You ain't gonna
I
fucking
wouldn't have let
dunk
that
shit.
go.
You ain't
Yep.
gonna fucking dunk shit, right?
Yep.
And he's like, okay. So they go to the fucking park. What's the park by there?
So the closest one would have
Houston.
probably been
Houston
the one, the one
Yeah.
back by the little.
So
the
they
little,
go.
in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they go to Houston
you
Playground.
can walk to there.
right?
Yeah, you can walk
And
there.
it was $100, right? George's like, I bet you $100 you ain't gonna dunk shit.
One chance, right? Not like multiple shots
Right.
at this.
Yeah.
One chance, all he needed, right?
Yep.
He's like, okay. He's like, let's go. I have my shoes in the trunk. They drive to Houston Playground. The dude fucking yams it, and then he fucking
fuck.
yams it again. Right? They come back. As soon as they come back in, George hits the ATM, pays him the money, sits
Real
down,
Real one.
and he says, get me a drink, and it's on that motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
I was like,
Hell
oh
yeah, yo.
shit.
I love George. Jesus
was-
Christ, this guy's the man.
He
One
was
more
awesome,
George.
man.
This was George's. He wasn't awesome. He was a pain.
He was all right. I
These
mean,
stories are awesome.
yeah, shout out. I don't
He
want to talk
grew
bad
up
about
in a
this.
different time, so
Yeah,
he had a
yeah, yeah.
lot
So
of
different.
animosity. The funny thing is that he hung out at a white bar in a
Yeah.
white neighborhood. He was very race, like he always wanted to bring up race, like this and that. And it's like,
Always.
dude, it's not like there's plenty of other bars.
Dog, you
know
can
what I
drive
mean?
down Ridge.
Also,
Ave.
like,
yeah,
no one,
It's
no,
by no
all-
white people.
no one ever came to him with a race issue either.
Right, it was always him.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
I will say this: the one time he was there, so I got two stories. The one time he was there, they had someone came in and they were getting 6-packs, and they all like when it's hot, a lot of people will come in and they'll go down to the creek down in
Wissahickon.
Wissahickon and Devil's like Pond.
Devil's
Yeah.
Pool.
Swim.
God
Devil's
damn it.
Pool,
Devil's Pool, you fuck.
whatever, and they'll swim in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they would come to the bar and get 6-packs, and they leave all their garbage there and whatever. So these
Dog, I used
people
to
are
see
in
Mexicans haul down like grills and
Grills,
picnic
and they
benches.
leave it.
It's
Yeah.
nuts.
They leave it.
Dude, they
I
do it
know.
at Tukini Creek too.
My
So-
fucking Rottweiler used to try to eat all this shit. I have to rip them back and shit.
Yeah. So they come in to get some 6-pack, and like I'm like getting the run, and I see the one guy, he grabs like a 6-pack or two, and he just like fucking walks out, like thinking I'm not like I didn't see it
Yeah,
as
like you
I'm
didn't
bringing in
notice.
other people. And
Right.
so I go outside. I'm like, yo, dude. I was like,
You gonna pay for those?
you gotta pay for those, dude.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, what? You know, and I'm like, you gotta pay for those, man. You can't just fucking walk out like this. And he's like, oh, they didn't pay for it. I'm like, No, they didn't pay for it, dude. They didn't say,
Sure
I was
did
like, I was like, you got, I'm like, just give me the fucking 6-packs. And so I go get the 6-packs and I come back in, and now like everyone, the regulars, they have the bartenders back. I will say this. So they're all there.
Always. I
So
will
then
say that also.
It's a
Always.
townie bar, cuz. It's a
black
townie
people,
bar.
and so I guess George walked out and he gave him like the shameful look, like, and he goes, "You ought to know better." I was like, all right, George. I like
Hell yeah,
that,
George.
man. So
Yeah.
George was cool,
Dude, I
but
remember
he
like
had some fucking, he was
Yeah.
a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Definitely was. But speaking of the bar and like the town, like the regulars having our backs, we used to have a massive cornhole tournament, right? And there was this team called the Inappropriates, and they won it the first 2 years, right? And then that was when Tom was with a different partner. Then me and Tom teamed up, and we were on the team, right? And it was the third year, and no one had beaten these guys, and they always come back. And like during the tournament, me and Tom were one of the favored teams, right? And everyone at the bar was talking shit to us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you guys suck. We're going to be like every team in the bar, like 30 people come up. You guys suck. We're going to beat you, like all this stuff. Right. And we're like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? We make it to the finals again. And dude, this is like what, like 50 teams or whatever. We make it to the finals against the Inappropriates, which was like a team from, like, they weren't regulars, right? They only showed up for the tournament. And I remember walking out there, and the regulars that were talking shit on us all day.
Fuck them up.
Like, they were talking shit on us all day. They're like, yo, this
Now
is
they're
our
your fans.
fucking bar. Like, you guys, like,
down.
we got you. Like, get the,
Hold
like,
down
bring,
the fort.
like, keep this trophy here. Like, this is our fucking bar. Like, win it, like, win it for the bar kind of thing. And we won, which was great. But they all, like, they went from like friendly talking shit to like, hey, this means something now. Let's go. Which I think it says a lot. And also, I told this story before too. We adopted a family for Christmas, right? And Tom had told everybody at the bar that we adopted a family for Christmas. And without being asked, they donated, they raised money. The regulars there raised money to help for the family that we adopted for Christmas.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
dude.
awesome.
If there's ever a cause, the Graham's.
No, that's the sad part about society.
Always.
That's the sad part about society is that
above and beyond.
The people that step up are usually blue collar people that don't have the means to spare, but they get it. They get it. It's the rich fucks that don't get it, that don't spare the money. You know what I mean? It's always that. It's always that way.
Agreed. Oh, 100%. They don't like. They know they don't have the most, but they know they don't have the least either.
And I know I got a little more than you, so here you go.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely, like, if they don't have it great, and there's people that have it worse. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a reason why Philly has a terrible stigma, right? But when people come here and they play here, they don't move out of here after they like get rid of their career because of people like that. That exact thing. Yeah, they're shitheads to each other. They're shitheads to outsiders. But if there's like an actual like real cause, they'll step up immediately.
Oh yeah. Anyone 100%. Here that like gets it, like a sports guy that
100%.
Gets it, loves playing in Philly.
Loves Philly. Loves
Chris
it.
Long talks about this city still. He only played here like a couple years.
Did you just see that one he had on hot boxing with the boys?
Yeah,
he was talking about, it was amazing.
Yeah, and he's
I
always
didn't see that.
Dude,
was that good?
Incredible.
Good episode. I wanted to check it out.
He said he heard all this shit talk about them, and people were talking about this, and he goes, and I played there before, and I knew how fucking vicious they were. He goes, but when I went there and they saw how hard I played and how they accepted me, I was like, there's no better fan base on the planet.
Yeah.
There's no one else that will have your back in the media. He's like, I started a charity. The day I started it, every person in Philly was hitting me up to like send money to it. And it's just, it's the way it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah. Big time. What, Tom, quick question. If one of the Graham's characters, anybody, if you could have them be a guest on this show or on your show, who would it be?
That's a tough one.
Exclude Dirty D.
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough one. If I could
Do you know who comes to mind for me?
I might go with Gary Jackson.
Gary Jackson was up there, but you know who came to mind for me that I would love to have on the show? Sean McKeever.
Oh, I mean, he's just hilarious.
I fucking love him.
Wait, McKeever from the McKeever family? Like the McKeevers that own
McGeever. It's with a G.
McGeever. Never mind. Okay.
I mean, Sean would be great, but like I thought you meant like to kind of summarize like the bar and like what you're getting,
Gary for sure. Jimmy Mitchell.
Gary has every story in the book. Like,
bro.
yo, Cabot, you and Gary would get along.
Gary
Gary
would
is
be your
crazy.
fucking boy.
Gary sounds cool. I like Gary.
I love
I like
Gary.
Gary's got
Love
every story.
Gary.
I'm telling you.
What's
And
up, Gary?
nobody puts a sentence together like
Gary.
Gary Jackson.
Gary
Yeah.
fucking
Nope.
Jackson.
Enough
love him.
said.
Yeah.
He's awesome, dude. He's
Hey,
a
he
badass.
he was going
Yo,
off about
kid.
something today. I was cracking up, but he was going off something today. He was saying something, not to get political, but he's like, they're all fucking crooks. January 6th, that wasn't shit. They should have hung all those motherfuckers.
Ah,
in there.
Gary's
I was
a
like,
man. Yeah,
yo,
Gary.
Gary.
Yeah,
was
Gary.
I was like, you know what? We haven't had a good assassination in a while, Gary.
Yeah,
You're
you're
probably
right,
onto
Gary.
something.
Step up, bro. Step up.
Gary, dude. Gary's a tough dude too. He's a good dude.
He's
man.
what they call a yunker.
Yeah, yep. I know the Yonkers.
So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
something else. But yeah, maybe him. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of great. Martin might be a pretty good one.
Martin, but you'd have to get him. You'd have to get Martin prior to drinking because
You'd have to do both. You'd have to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
him.
Once
before
he
and
starts
after?
drinking,
Yeah.
once he starts drinking, you legit cannot understand a fucking word he says.
Yeah. Well, he's back
that's
in Ireland
way
now.
better. That's
What?
way better. The
Yeah, he's
concept.
back
He
in
went
Ireland.
back?
Ah, fuck.
Yeah,
Martin
his-
went. They allowed him
his
back.
mom got sick. I just don't think they're allowing him back here, and that's the issue. So I don't know.
What the fuck,
He's-
man? Is he all right?
His mom got sick. His mom passed away.
Fuck. Sorry
yeah.
to hear that.
So
Yeah,
he
that's
went back.
terrible.
Dude, I
Yeah, he
remember
went back
one
to
night
Ireland.
I flagged Martin and kicked him out of the bar, and he was like, "Oh my god," he was so like he was punching signs and shit. I was like, "Good, fuck him, man. You fuck it," because he can be a dick too. He can be a pain in the ass, but he can
Yeah.
also be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's
It's usually how it
incredible.
goes. I know how that goes.
Yeah, and then they're
Tim
also
the Cook wouldn't be a bad one to have on.
Oh, Tim the Cook would be great. There,
You
I
could
mean,
get Tim the Cook.
yeah. I'd love to have him on. I'd have to do it in person though because he doesn't know how to do any technology shit. He couldn't.
I liked him. I liked him.
Tim's great. Tim's great. We could
I
have
like
him.
his. I
Try
like his
working with
lack
him on a
of-
busy night.
I
I
like
That'd
it.
be fun.
Dude, I remember.
I'm cooking and bartending. I'm like, come on,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Dude,
dog.
I remember, right? Like, I remember there was this guy, Santa Jack, right? He
Oh, what a
was
jerk off.
he was a JO for sure. I mean, whatever. He could be cool, but sometimes I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just too miserable. Like,
Just
give
be
it
a normal
rest.
human, dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
be a
It was
human.
always, you know what happens, Steve? People, you wouldn't believe it. They fight over the jukebox so much. They used to. I had to get rid of the play next button because it was just like,
Yeah,
yo,
'cause they would jump lines.
many
like, I already
fights.
paid for- Yeah, yeah.
who's skipping my shit? Who's
Yeah.
skipping my shit? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. But one time Santa Jack ordered a chicken ranch wrap, right? A chicken ranch wrap.
Sounds super gay.
Chicken ranch wrap with tots.
They're good.
Timmy brings it out on the plate, everything. Brings it
great.
out, no chicken.
No chicken.
I was just like,
When he brought
Tim,
out
he brought it out, and
ranch
Jack
and
said,
Cheese, lettuce, tomato, and
ranch, everything.
dressing.
dog,
And he had cooked.
Dog.
And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
No, I got
Tim?
one better than that.
you're fired.
Oh, no way.
I got one better than that. He shows up. Someone orders a roast beef sandwich with long hot, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, he brings out the roast beef
Lo
sandwich.
ajaoy.
Yeah, he put a raw long hot on there.
Oh, all right. I'm done. I gotta go. I can't do that. I can't. I don't
He
like.
didn't
I,
cook
what
the
the
long hot. It
fuck?
was just a fucking pepper. He put the pepper on the fucking sandwich. I was like, Tim, I was like, you got the ones that are baked off in the oil. Like, you have to use the cooked one.
Dude, I heard a joke today. Speaking of au jus, the joke was, "Do you know what au jus is?" And they're like, "What? A religion?" Nice. So okay, yes, dude. I mean, so we're coming to the top of time. Man, that really got Cabot. We're coming to the top of time. So, like we said, available now on all podcast platforms, YouTube, TikTok, the Tom Lavelle Show at the Tom Lavelle Show. Really great stuff. New episodes coming out all the time. He's got what, 9 out, 10 out already.
I think I got 11. I think I got 11 going.
11
right now.
out already.
Yep.
So he's got a bunch in the bank, so you can, and they're 30 minutes tops.
Yeah,
They're quick.
25. I
So
don't think
you
I
could-
have one over 30 minutes.
So you can
yet,
bang
so.
through them real quick. They're fun. They're informative. Great stories. Good stuff. Great energy. Really, really good show. So yeah, I would definitely check it out if you could. Got great clips too. So, but yeah, really good stuff. But Tom, what else can we expect from the Tom Lavelle show?
Just kind of, similar stuff to what we're going through today. Just as I work and as my day goes on, different things pop in my head. I always jot them down, and I try to, maybe dive into it a little bit more, think about it a little bit more, and hopefully get some funny shit from it.
Dude,
that's all I do.
Yo, that's one thing that like I've really tried to copy, because like when you listen to Rogan, you listen to Segura, right? Like you listen to Chappelle, you listen to Hart, like all the best guys out there, and like the guys with the best shows, they live on like the notes tab. You know what I mean? Like they take like on their phone, they're taking notes
all day,
and
every
shit
day.
all the time is all they're doing. So I've been trying to do that more too. And I don't have it, like, I don't do it on notes. I just text myself ideas, and I, do it like that. Also,
I found that I need
text
to be
myself
more
like that.
specific with my ideas because sometimes I'll text like a little like bullet point, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck was that? What was I
Yeah.
even thinking
Now,
about? with
here's
that?
the thing. Can we get political on your show? Because I'm trying to get the most hate possible. I know hate sells, and I'm a shithead, so I'll spit some shit.
I'll tell you what, I
One
think the
person's
next thing I'm
face,
gonna
another
talk
person's
about
love.
right now, like on the show that I want to air a clip on it tomorrow, is Josh Donaldson getting suspended a game for calling Tim Anderson Jackie.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing. Do I hate
What?
AO
What
State?
is
I do,
that?
but I'll fuck her right now.
So
what are we talking about?
Jackie, so Tim Anderson, when he came in the league, said like, "Oh, I'm gonna be like next Jackie Robinson. I'm gonna bring some
Be the
fun
next
back
Jackie."
to baseball and stuff like that." And apparently,
Yep.
him and Josh Donaldson had joked about this before, and so then they're playing each other the other day, and he gets a hit. He's on third base or something, and Donaldson goes like, "Yo, what's up, Jackie?" And Anderson like starts like, getting in his face or something. And then there's like this whole thing, and they're like, asking the game what happened
Complete
with them.
joke took him wrong.
LaRussa's like, oh, it was a racial comment. And now they turned it into like this racial comment.
Yep.
And he called him
'Cause
Jackie.
it gets clicks.
Like, disrespecting him. And so, yeah. And ESPN,
Same-
of course,
Wait.
runs
So
with it.
when the dude reacted, was it like real, or was he really legit
I think
mad?
he reacted because they were getting their asses kicked, and he was
Right.
pissed
He was
off.
emotional. Right.
And so he like reacted and then used the race card as the reason why
Oh,
he
yeah.
reacted.
such
He's acting like an asshole.
Bullshit.
Same thing. Do you see the thing that just happened with the last UFC card with Holly Holm?
No.
She was
No.
fighting Vera, a Brazilian broad, and she was trying to like poke her in the eyeball. So the coach, which they always say, like Rogan and fucking Schaub, and then they hate having the fucking coaches mic'd up because they're like, I don't want to get into it. It's gonna take too long. But the moral of the story was he said, don't let her poke you in the eyes, trying to use that dirty Brazilian tactic. And they took it like he was saying that like dirty
Brazilians are
Brazilians, like
dirty.
it was yes.
Oh my
no,
God.
he meant in the heat of the moment, in the battle.
Also-
you fucking losers.
Yo, also, that's fucking dirty to poke
It is.
someone in the fucking eye. It's
You
illegal.
could have said, hey, stupid white girl, don't get poked by that dirty Brazilian
Yeah.
tactic. It meant nothing
The thing that
deeper
sucks,
than what was happening
the
at
thing
that moment.
the thing that sucks too, flip that, and if it's the Brazilian side that says
That
she's
dirty
trying
white
to
bitch is gonna
that
try to
dirty
poke
white
you,
that dirty
never
white
gets picked
bitch,
up.
they're doing
Never
that
gets
dirty
picked up.
white tactic, no one can get
No
like
clicks, because there's no
nothing.
clicks. There's no clicks, no traction.
That's some bullshit though. I mean, so this is what I think, like what I want from our platform really is that like the people that are promoting this bullshit, right? Like this speak out because like they try to find, they want any reason to blow the whistle, right?
Yes.
Like we need to start speaking out against them and
100%.
telling
I
them
agree.
like, shut the fuck up.
Well, just
Shut the
because
fuck up.
too, a lot of times, like just because you're, and this might sound bad, I don't know, but just because you're in the minority and you have, doesn't make you automatically right. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's
100%.
like
Doesn't sound wrong at all.
This whole thing is, it seems like it's a joke. Like he's getting, and the thing about it too, he's only getting suspended for one game. So
Yeah.
if they really thought it was a
joke.
racial issue
They would
and
do
it was
something for
something
real.
like that, it would be more than one game. You know what I mean? It would
But
be
they
like,
know this was a blown out bullshit.
and they're just like, oh, we're just going to suspend him for a game to appease these, the Sports Center or whatever.
How many-
Maybe
how
Sports
many
Center put a
times-
lot of pressure on them because they have Sunday Night Baseball. Who knows where, like, behind the scenes, everything. But it's the people behind the scenes that are making it more of an issue than it is actually an issue.
I agree.
Plus, too, how many times have like the Latino players called the white players gringos or
I mean, I don't know all that. And I don't say like, and I'm not trying to say like, if it's said in a certain way that, hey, that's all right. But at the same time, who gives
it was a fucking, and also it was
know
a
what I
joke.
mean? Like I play rec league soccer every fucking Wednesday, and people say some crazy shit out there. You know what I mean?
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
So
and it's just like the one day someone said something like this to me, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't get like, no one's talking to you, dude. And like, we kind of say shit back and forth. Does that mean I fucking like hate this part or whatever? No. Just like
that's the biggest part I get annoyed with.
Yeah.
The biggest part I get annoyed with is the fact that people don't realize, again, this is where people are like, oh, sports, like most dorks that never played sports or fucking pussies or whatever you want to call those people that didn't do that. But the people that didn't play sports are like, I see this all the time. Like for instance, a lady across the street or somewhere in this vicinity owns a business. She came over and she was like, yeah, I had to take my kids out of sports because it was too stressful for them. And then I tried to politely explain to them my perception that one of the biggest things sports do is sports taught me immediately, because nobody's born like with a perception of race, right? So as far as I'm concerned. So what sports did teach me is I didn't care if you were hot pink, purple, fucking neon green. If you had my back and I had yours and I realized you were a good person, you're my guy forever, right?
Yeah.
So like sports bonds that through races, right? Doesn't matter if you're tall, short, fat, fucking skinny,
also
not smart, very smart, hot pink, purple, whatever it is. You learn that you learn who those people are through those like adversities, right? People show who they are.
You see their character.
100%. And that whole thing right there drives me nuts, that people don't realize that again, when things get said during the it's fucking nuts.
Also, too, if she's pulling them out because of stress, like one of the great things about sports is it teaches you to deal with adversity in maybe 100%. Not like a life altering situation. It's just like at the end of the day, if you're a kid in a Little League game, it's high stress at that point, right? But it's not it's just a game, right? Like at the end of the day, it's not changing your life so much, but it does change the way you perceive things because it helps you deal with stressful situations. So if you're running from any adversity, if you're always running from adversity, you're going to be running your whole life. You have to face adversity, and sports helps you learn that. And also camaraderie, teamwork, all that shit. But
teamwork,
either way,
setting goals, discipline,
exactly,
respect, all that stuff. It helps with everything. I mean, it's good for you. And we're not saying that you got to be a fucking, nut job out there. There's a line there too. But hey, when you all got a common goal and everyone's working together, there's not much better thing than when you go and you accomplish what you're trying to do, So,
And real quick, not just to be a fucking weirdo either. It doesn't have to be sports necessarily. It could be fucking band. It could be
theater,
a fucking ski club, right? Whatever it is. Just something with a group that you guys all have a common goal together. And it doesn't matter what you are or where you come from, but we're all trying to achieve the same thing together.
But it ties together. So it's all good. You know what I mean? You can learn it through anything. Sports is a great avenue that we got to learn.
It is. Yes. 100%.
But okay, so we're coming to the top of time. Tom, this has been another great show. Thanks again for being on. Steve, thanks for stepping in for Jada,
and making the fucking scene better looking.
Definitely raises the level of handsome on this show big time.
Yep.
But we're coming to the top of time. Tom, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to the Tama Nation before we leave?
Park in the right spot and be tip accordingly. That's all I would say. At the Tom Lavelle Show. Just look up at the Tom Lavelle Show.
Attacking his brother and his co-host.
Nice. Strong Stem, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to, the cult of Cabot before we take off?
Yeah, one thing, man. I saw the quote again today. I don't know why I always come out with Henzo always has the best shit, right? So Henzo sent a thing that said it was under hold on, all right. It was under a thing that says so it said fighting is never the answer, and avoid fighting at all costs, right? But if you do have to fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark, and homie, it's raining. How awesome was that? When I read
That'd
that,
be
I was
like
like,
fucking
I need a poster
great.
of that.
Yeah.
I need a poster of that. Like,
Dude,
for
that's
those of you that don't know,
fucking-
and aren't religious, you know, they only took 2 of each animal. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're the 3rd monkey on the ramp, and the water's rising. Fight
Yeah.
like you never fought before.
Fuck yeah, dude. Dude, that's a great fucking.
Isn't that
is a
awesome? I saw
great
it today.
quote.
I was like, screenshotted it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Nice. So that was great. Well, speaking of monkeys fighting on ramps, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Schwab Game Steve Cabot, and our guest was the one and only Tom Lavelle from The Tom Lavelle Show. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. This has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. Thanks for listening, and stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya. Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.